honest, all those teams. Like here's my thought. Every single team from GSMC downwards, and GSMC are in 10th, but they're not playing today. But every single team from them downwards are in the danger zone. The reason why I look at that is because when you look at AK-47, who are in 9th, they have an average points per game of 7.1 points per game. That's really nice average, and in my opinion, it fits the kind of top 16. And yeah, there are quite a good few teams down below, like Dope Rex, Goskilla, who have an average of around 10 points per game. But we know the more games you play, the higher the chance your average points per game, you know, goes down. So I do think it's going to be quite tough for even the teams that are kind of 12, 13, 14, 15 downwards to kind of maintain that position.
I mean, you say that normally the more games you have, the more your average goes down. I mean, next, except for next, you know, that is the exception that confirms the rule. They, after like 8 games, increased it. But as I said, like most of the teams there are going to be in a pretty dangerous spot. So it'll be important for them to pull off what you call a PedjaDBoy today. That means pull off your best performances on your last day, on your last few games. Only 4 games in Imperium. That, in the grand scheme of things, is absolutely nothing. So one bad game might be the reason why you get kicked out of this spring split. So you got to try and keep that composure. You got to try and stay calm and just do the rotations. Your rotations, if I see bad rotations on this day, I'm going to be like, I'm sorry, you deserve to be out.
Yeah, like, let's be honest. Like, there's only 37 points dividing Team Legend in last and GSMC in 10th. Like, that's 14 points.
That's 3 games, yeah.
37 points. That's nothing. And yeah, okay, the teams down at the kind of bottom 5-6 standings, they only have an average points per game of 5-6. But it's like I said, anything can happen in the group stages on the last day. I knocked out PedjaDBoys. I said in my head, no, they're not going to go through. But they did it.
Yep. Pull off a big reverse sweep. And that is what I'm hoping to see from a few of these squads. Definitely a lot in the danger zone. If you had to choose one team, actually, Health Group C, do you think has the potential of climbing back up? You know, I know you got a few that you like Imperium, but if you had to say one, this is going to be my PedjaDBoy team. Which one might that be for you?
Ooh, okay, the PedjaDBoy team. Accelerate.
Well, I'm going to follow you on that one.
The reason why I say accelerate is simply because they are kind of outside of Team Legend. They're in 22nd place. They've shown a much improved level of aggression over the past 2 days of games, over the 6 games they've had so far. I talked about it yesterday. If they can just balance it out with some higher placement points in these final 4 games, I have a lot of hope for them.
As I said, I'm going to follow you on that one. I think the Accelerate is a team that's shown the most potential in that lower segment of the standings, so we'll keep an eye out for them. Hopefully they'll be going for some nice aggressive gameplay because they've been outdoing everyone in the lower standings in terms of kills alone. Now, got to try and get a bit of those positioning points, and you might just save your skin to go over to the finals of this weekend. Anyways, the playing path pretty central from south up to north. OVN is here, so they got their very ending dropped location, which is Severny, so that is going to be pretty safe for them. While REXPECT going, as always, over to Primorsk.
Is that Elevate going over to Novo?
I mean, you can take boat and rotate back into Milta if you really want to.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. What is now I can say, I said it yesterday, but I got it wrong. There's no next, so Gaka is open. So Team Dope will spread themselves out across there. MVP normally going to Fairy Pier, but I think they've given that over to We Are Vietnamese.
You know, that is indeed the case, but I'm seeing that this phase 1 circle, pretty damn good, central overall. And as Magic, you know, they understood, oh, Hate Gaming are not here. That means that military base is open. Let's just take it. No other teams likes to go there except for Hate Gaming. But I'm seeing some early fight between PedjaDBoy and Cream over here on the Eastern Bridge segment. So hopefully that won't go too bad for them because you know that PedjaDBoy, they can't afford bad performances right now.
Oh, they really can't. All those teams down at the bottom of the standings, they're going to find it pretty tough indeed. REXPECT going towards Primorsk, looking to stay pretty safe and make their way into the circle from that southerly direction.
Accelerate, they're going to be pretty central in this area. Hopefully we won't get in too much of an issue. They actually, you know, they like to go in like the flooded area of the map, so they're going to try and take that. No teams really drop there because most of the area wants to get avoided by most squads, while Goskilla, pretty chill, and he has an iPolyar. They got a lot of loot for themselves, but back over to PedjaDBoys, very close to Cream. They had to just peel back a little bit, go over to Milta. They have to loot up right now. They dropped in the open. I guess they had very very uneven loot, so you don't want to take a fight at that stage.
No, you don't. You really don't when you're PedjaDBoys. You know, the good thing is that they already have 2 vehicles, so their disengagement is going to be pretty easy. Plus the fact that they're on Milton, the phase on circle is really well inside the main land part of the map is going to be relevantly easy for them. What is worrisome for these teams is that the circle on phase 1 hovers over military base and north of the river, and there is a chance if phase 2 shifts in one of those directions, it could cause a ripple effect of some harsh rotations for these teams.
That means it have to be a really like harsh northern or southern rotation, which, you know, we've seen our fair share of harsh circle shifts, so got to still keep that in the back of your head. But I think that right now aiming for a central position is good, just to have like all gatekeeping teams trying to go for a more central position themselves, or to have easier rotations in case of a harsh shift. So I think that here teams are in a pretty central position. Like Accelerate kind of did that. They're in a pretty good spot. Teams that went for Pachinki also. So, you know, trying to set yourself up for this early game rotation is always the best way to do it. And we'll see which teams can get that position under control.
And here's what's interesting right now, is that most of the teams have actually dropped and are looting actually around the edge of the circle. The only team that's really inside the central part of the circle right now is UDRKILLERS in Pachinki. Every other team is looting and landing around kind of the edge of the circle in all directions. So the good thing is that there is quite a lot of space and quite a lot of property towards the center of the circle. But the thing is, how long will teams leave it to start rotating?
I understand why teams don't want to rotate now, because that playing path was so central, right? Do you expecting, well, teams must be actually pretty evenly spread. There must be a few teams in the center, and you don't want to breach like phase 1 if you can avoid it. So if you got position on the edge of circle, sure, it might be more passive than what you want, but it's not worth taking a risk to breach phase 1. We saw teams do it, like, for example, check Yakuza in a group stage, and they died so many times trying to breach level phase 1.
Yeah.
So if you can avoid it, just don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, WAVietnamese, they kind of split dropped a bit to Ferry Pier to the kind of the westerly area of Ferry Pier. They've ended up going a bit close to REXPECT. They'll know that REXPECT have dropped in Primorsk if they have, you know, if they've kind of kept an eye on where teams land for more than 2 seconds. They'll know REXPECT like to drop there, so they'll play a little bit safe, disengage, not get exposed too quickly and get taken out.
I expect they're going to have to move out a little bit. Not quite in a circle, but that's A-okay. You still got Ferry Pier, you got flute areas around them, so they rotations should be set up for success. And there's also some decent car spawns in Primorsk, so I think they're going to be set up for victory. While Team Dope, oh, they like to rotate pretty split. Get pretty close to MVP Gaming. Gonna take a few shots, but I would be surprised if that actually does end up connecting. If you're lucky, you might get a wheel popped off. MVP trying to wrap up some damage early, which will not result in too much being done to Team Dope.
Team Dope, they are looking to go a little bit where UDRKILLERS are, and that could go against them.
I mean, got Pachinki Hill.
Yeah, but that's pretty much near where UDRKILLERS are. UDRKILLERS have disengaged away a bit from Pachinki, and that's what I'm talking about. Sandro and Ulysses. They'll hear
I don't like this.
From Sandro.
As you see, oh, Sandro going to be jumping out, gets the intel, going to go for the fire down, but Sandro is not able to make it work out. What is going on? Bazzi popping absolutely off. One of the members of UDRKILLERS, Ulysses, has that tree with third-person perspective, but it's going to be a 1v2 while BGD flushed out Sandro. So no way, Jose. They're going to take that position for themselves. And I said it, Pachinki Hill is a pretty good position, but now because they did a 2-2 split, they're going to transcend back the cavalry back over. So this is going to be a 3v2 versus the 2 members of Team Dope. But that is a great nade from Bazzi. Back to a 2v2, and they instantly hear the car rotating of the 2 other members of UDRKILLERS. So they know exactly where to focus their attention on. But where the hell are the 2 other members of Team Dope?
I don't get why Sandro disengaged away from that HUD, you know, so early on. After hearing the buggy go up the hill, he should have used a third-person perspective to get a little bit more information, allow Bazzi to peek up the hill, you know, a bit more before going out, because all he did was gave Bazzi more room to disengage down the hill and get the shots off, and it went against Sandro because Sandro had too much of his body exposed looking down at Bazzi.
And he says bleeds out. That's going to be Bazzi picking it up. That's going to be their second kill over to Team Dope. So still, they get themselves a bit of extra points up their sleeve, which they're desperately going to need. So off to a good start, and also it's pretty central. It's high ground, it's Pachinki Hill. It's a great position for intel and also pure map pressure. So that is a valuable position to push on. I understand it, but I think they would have been better if they did it also with their member that was still alive. I think it was Tudor. Surprised they did that as only 2 squad, but luckily enough for them, a 2-2 split was set together. Or we are Vietnamese and Magic. They're going to be clashing a little bit towards the western bridge. Well, not going to result in any frags getting taken just yet.
We are Vietnamese. So landed around Ferry Pier. Now they shifted a bit more to the east by the west bridge, knowing that Magic would have landed in military base, tried to catch him out, but Magic have responded pretty well, not losing any player as of yet.
I gotta say, I'm a big fan of how Magic rotated on this one, because they were on military island, a military base to be specific, and they really rotated on the bridge because they didn't want to let gatekeep kind of gameplay happen on them. So they tried to rotate quickly, be very swift, and I do enjoy it because also setting up gatekeeping bridge camps on the other side of the bridge on there is going to be really harsh. So I think Magic, that's a great rotation, very by the book, but very useful.
Just a little tidbit, Kedro's popping shots off in the direction of PedjaDBoy. It wasn't the fact that he was going to get a knockoff, but he pushed PedjaDBoy back a bit, creating more space and right into the path. A cream as Mamula gets put down low, health behind the vehicle. Kobe gonna be thrown up by Marley, but it's too much, too late. Calamos takes down Mamula.
Oh my god, you're going in none other than Cream themselves. That's the team you don't want to mess with and cross paths with. And Cream, you know what? They're going to pick 2 kills. And PedjaDBoys, they're going to split up their 2 remaining members, get one in a compound, and I don't even know where Ares is right now. But unfortunate for them, PedjaDBoys will be off to a man disadvantage early game at the very start of Phase 2. That's going to get pretty tricky for them later on down the line.
And I think they're one of those teams which just left it too late. As Broccoli goes down, accelerate. God damn it, we know how aggressive they've been. And in this first game of the last day of the semi-finals, they're following up with a kill straight out of the books.
I mean, Accelerate just pulled off an aggressive compound breach on one of the most aggressive teams that we had this tournament, especially with Broccoli. And they took him down specifically, so Accelerate might be a stepping stone to victory and to success as to get qualified to the finals. But Terra, though, they're trying to look for another compound. A few teams around them, they've got to be careful. But LAKONOSTRA holding on to Potato Hill with Red Reserve right behind them. It is pretty big. It's a nice plateau, so you can share it up. Wow. They're going to spread down on Team Legend and Elevate, but they got compounds to defend themselves with.
Generally, teams are actually rotating at the same time, within reason, within kind of the same time frame, and that's where it went against PedjaDBoy. Like, PedjaDBoy should have realized that they should either rotate super early or super late. Mural inside the buggy, we've seen his shots. He manages to get out just in time with a Nori popping in his direction.
And some shots. Also, I do have some intel that we have apparently the YouTube channel back up. So to all of you guys you're watching on YouTube, welcome back. Missed a little bit of action, not too much happening. Only 6 members down for the time being. No teams actually eliminated. Going to be seeing then LAKONOSTRA and Red Reserve. As I said, it's a pretty big plateau, so you can in some way share it, but they're not also going to hesitate to take shots if they can. And that's why both of these teams are being very cautious about their peeking and their position overall to not get denied away.
We did see Phase 2. It's centered up towards the mainland. So no military base finish. And I guarantee you the teams are really happy with that Phase 2 circle shift. It's centered up. Still a little bit of the north circle in that Phase 2. So with the Phase 3 shift up north, it could play a huge part. But right now, teams are just going to get into a nice location, stay where they are, and just hope that they can just catch out some teams rotating later on, and hope that Phase 3 stays in their direction.
Definitely got to try and hope the RNG guards are going to be on your side for that one. Well, you know, they didn't want to hold on into the open fields. They're like, okay, maybe not the best position. We're going to go back over to Pachinki. There might be a few teams, which there is, to 2 remaining members of UDRKILLERS that died out. Yeah. Team Dope. But hopefully won't be involved in too much of a carnage for UDRKILLERS. And also, I think that they know that teams are still pretty much squatted up to full squad. So they're going to try and just peel their way away from Elevate and leave them control that northern area.
Told you we were going to see overall a passive game, Max. 16 teams still left going. 58 players at the 12.5-minute mark, give or take. Now we're going to see Phase 3. Hopefully we can get it up on our screens so we can go through where it's shifted up and what it's going to do for some of these teams.
12 minutes and 45 seconds is going to be the time where Elevate decides to finally move on through and get back towards Pochinki Field. Maybe not going to aim for a compound just yet. They're going to try and aim for, I guess, a high ground position, which would be a lot more valuable. Or maybe even apartment. They're at least going in that global direction. We'll be keeping an eye out for that one while they're splitting up. 4 cars, you know, it's always good to see. Always nice to see it. And try and get that ASAP. There are a few teams around, but it shouldn't be really too much of an issue. I don't think they're going to be able to take down the entirety of Elevate because they're so split.
Well, here's the thing. Elevate rotated early, but they also they've rotated a little bit kind of in a straight line, and I think that's overall worked out. If they had left it like 30 to 40 seconds later, that would have been a really bad idea, but because they did it a lot earlier, it's created a lot more space for them to make that swift rotation. We did see phase 3 shift up towards the northeast direction, with the likes of LAKONOSTRA already inside, ready to pop off.
Unfortunately, the thing with Potato Hill is it doesn't give you insane peak potential because it's actually pretty flat as like a plateau, as I mentioned earlier. So if you want to peak, you put yourself in some danger in some way, while Accelerate going to get pretty close to Tudor. But Tudor's just going to be continuing on this path, and they're no way going to get involved as Accelerate. Up so far was only 1 kill that they got on Broccoli. At least they got a compound, which is pretty safe. It's hard to peek from this area, though.
It is. It's a little bit low down. You don't get much vision around you, but either way, it's still going to be a safe position on the edge of a circle. What is tough also for Potato Hill is that, you know what, you're in the center at this point. There can be teams rotating from 360 degrees, and that can get you punished. But now REXPECT rotating closer to Team Dope.
Pretty damn close indeed, but they've got multiple cars. Even if they lose 1 or 2 maximum, they won't be team squad wiped out. And they got a compound right there. But they're not going to be stopping for it.
I gotta point out, that Vigo skin from Caster is just...
I want to see it now.
Honestly, if I had that skin, I wouldn't leave the car. I would just, like, go around as magic. They are going to have to get out of their cars under rotation at the hands of Accelerate close by.
I mean, they're trying to push on Accelerate, but they got another squad that's around there trying to spray some damage, and that's going to be PedjaDBoy. So not the safest position to set up camp with for the time being. And phase 3 is on them right now. Phase 4, we know, is a big chance of shifting away from them. They will see if they are going to be lucky on that RNG. This car's going to be exploding in a matter of seconds. Now you can use that as some actual defensive positioning, but they're going to have to pop so many smokes early on, which is never a good sign for your late game.
By the way, Reki just wrecked them with a grenade. That's going to be another knockdown. And that's going to be, I think that was just a kill confirmed for Accelerate onto Nihad from Magic. And now Reki and the Accelerate team turned their attentions to other teams located around them.
Skirp is going to get shot away on, oh, nice connection from Reki, getting a headshot with the mini. That should be an instant death, and indeed Skirp will be confirmed out of the game, eliminated. But Cream, they're kind of trying to hold and defend their home turf. They got a second position already against Accelerate in the same area, but REXPECT, they're really struggling. Wasson and Jervy knocked away. Not B2 and Caster, they got to take a choice. Or commit for the reses, which will be pretty hard to take in the open, or just remain as a 2-man army. No, circle shifted away from them too.
Yeah, that phase 4 circle shift was tough because phase 3 went up towards the northeasterly direction, and the phase 4 shifted up towards the northwest. So that's tough for some of these teams, especially the likes of Cream that went down the southeast on that phase 3.
And what you got to stand on this area is this plateau, and you got not many compounds to play with. So this is going to get very tricky, and a team to go for the high ground have definitely a really distinct advantage, which is why Red Reserve currently have such a good positioning. They got the information on what 5-6 teams currently, and it just gives them so much intel for their phase 5 circle shift.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little bit worried by Red Reserve's position, although I do have to commend the fact that they are still as a full squad. Wasted knockdown at the hands of Cream. Cream are now going to rotate a little bit more down south on the edge of Potato Hill and make their way into the circle as the blue zone is starting to shift in. MVP getting a nice position on the compounds down below school.
The worst way to have this game go is if the circle is actually shifting centrally. If it shifts up, I mean, all the teams are going to be pushed over the lip of the mountain, and they're all going to have visibility on each other, and then it's going to go absolutely downhill from there on out. So if it goes center, that you can expect as like somewhat of a hard shift because it's going to mess up so many squads on their positioning.
This is just a bit of a tough circle to deal with for some of these teams as Bazzi knocks down Will of Elevate.
They're going uphill. They got not B2. They got to be careful. Going to go for the spray and rolling right over. Unfortunately, that's going to be REXPECT eliminated by a car in 14th position. They're going to smoke themselves up, trying to hold that position while Will getting raised up by Zuku. I thought that might be a little bit harder to pull off, but Bazzi's just going to leave them unseen.
It's good stuff by Elevate to get the return knocking on the kill, and now as Cream look to push up the hill, maybe breach at the hands of Red Reserve. And this is where Red Reserve need to push teams back. Nice grenades by them. That's going to hold off Cream on the edge of the circle. And Red Reserve, they need to make this space because the blue zone is closing in, and they need to know that should they shift northwards, that they're not going to be third party directly from behind by Cream. So I do like the play by Red Reserve, but don't peek too effectively because at the end of the day, in this position, Cream actually have a better shot at getting a knockdown.
I mean, Magic and WAVietnamese had an angle on them, so they've got to be careful and they've got to do something about it. If they shift on any direction, they're going to be encountering a team. So no, they're going to have to break out a fight pretty damn soon. Well, Ked going for his own nade. Is it nade? Is that going to be a Ked nade? Oh, unfortunately, not going to be doing too much. But you can see that Cream's slowly trying to get more and more ground upon Red Reserve. And Red Reserve, they're not all focused on the same area because they just have to hold the entire area because it's so grand.
This is a bit worrisome. I would prefer to see Red Reserve going for a 2-2 split this side, although I did like the fact that Ked was moving to flank to get that information, to get that position, and now the next phase, the phase 5, has shifted to the west. Only LAKONOSTRA are inside the circle as Cream are going to have to move, and they move quick.
Yeah, they're trying to move instead of Red Reserve. Like, they're going to try and gatekeep the area from all of these teams located on the east or the south. Up this kind of formation, but unfortunately Reeves, the Irish god, will get shut down in his path. Down to only 3 to make them work, but WAVietnamese just snaking their way through and trying to prey upon these kills. That looks like a pretty damn good nade from Why So Easy. It will bounce up, but it will not get any damage done, unfortunately, but now you can try and judge it up a little bit better. That second nade might be a bullseye.
Although in saying that, you can't deny what Cream can do. You still got Kalamostop, Peko, and Marley ready to frag out. The fact that they know we are Vietnamese are there, they can focus on them because they're down the hill. They're on cover of the teams up north for now.
I said somewhat of a nice circle shift like this is going to mess up all the teams. They're all getting pushed over the lip of the hill. That means they all got visibility on each other, and we have no idea which team is going to make it out alive, especially here on the east and the south. Oh, Cream smoking it up, trying to buy some time, get some nades on through on Mike. That looks like a pretty good Kobe to me. But will it connect on a member of WAVietnamese? SOD got knocked away, and that is indeed going to be a bullseye. Mike going to get knocked to the ground, which is why So Easy left alone. Get some pretty significant spray on Kalimos. He's going to get him knocked away, give him more room to breathe, and pull off also a res on Mike.
Good stuff by Why So Easy. Although that is giving Cream a chance to get that revive onto Kalamos. The phase is, of course, shifting up. The blue zone is going to be getting to the edge of the circle. We're going to see phase 6 rearing its ugly head as Kalamos rears his ugly head.
Oh, there you go. WAVietnamese, they get taken out into a position while Red Reserve, they're getting mowed down by LAKONOSTRA on another side of the map. Would be interested to see how that is going to be evolving in their favor, while OVN try to get a little bit more centrally in the circle. But Goskilla, MVP Gaming, Team Legend also split. But Team Legend, that 2-2 split, actually, I really enjoy. I think that's going to give them a nice little bit of pressure to push in circle.
The circle has shifted up north.
Oh, it's about to shift again.
Goskilla have a nice spot.
If it goes central, this is going to get even worse, Imperium. I swear, where is this going to be taking us on phase 6? It goes up north. This is actually one of the better places for these teams to play around with, especially the teams in the north, of course. But now, teams know exactly how to play around it. They're not going to get pushed in the same vicinity. So less fights should be breaking out for the time being. Now, Goskilla still holding on to their position. It was only Savage X and Albi. They got the last chicken dinner on Vikendi yesterday. Can they make this one into a back-to-back win?
It's going to be tough for them, but they definitely find themselves looking pretty good. But anything can happen. Third parties can show up. Cream, they've got to get right past LAKONOSTRA if they are going to make their way into the circle. I would love to see them just wrap around a bit more down Potato Hill on the west side and make their entryway around where Team Legend are.
Oh, but Team Legend, I'm seeing Predator get naded up. Party is going not really great for them. At least the thing about their 2-2 split is they already got 2 members in circle. So they can hold that and facilitate the rotation of their 2 other members through. Well, LAKONOSTRA, they picked a fight with Red Reserve already. Now they shifted. They want to try and hold to the compound. They got one of the better positions to play with, but they need the 2 other members to follow suit.
Cream, they're on 8 kills already in this game. They're ready to frag any more. LAKONOSTRA on 5. It's Pocus gonna get knocked down. Is that the end of actual Elevate, or are they still?
They're still alive.
I believe they
got 2.
Still alive. They got 2 up, and Radix trying to find Cream, but it's just too much. They dive in. He had no idea it was the full squad there, and that was a misplay by LAKONOSTRA.
I mean, you got the sense of saying, no fear, just fight. Maybe you got to be scared every once in a while, especially against Cream. So they tried their best. Reeves is going to be knocked away, but the rest should still be something to come on through. They're sending the members of LAKONOSTRA to the compound. They're going to try and defend and leave all the other teams fight each other. They should be safe from harm for the next few minutes.
Well, it's not too easy because Dope are coming in from the side. 2-door. Last man standing. Got a kill for his side. But that's going to be Pico driving him out. That's Team Dope eliminating 10th. 9 teams left. 24 players. LAKONOSTRA pretty much right in the center of the circle for now.
The fight of the South. Oh, well, the fight is over already, apparently. They forfeited. PedjaDBoy is out in 8th position. That means that Cream, they got a nice, easy entry point. They only got 2 members, which is Marley and Pecco. They can make this nice and easy. They're the only teams located there. Now they just got to wait for the fight to calm out on the other areas, and they can get involved and try and steal away some frags, and even potentially this dub.
They have to go around the side in my eyes. I don't think they can
actually
go through LAKONOSTRA. The reason why is because Elevate is to the east of them, and that's going to be a bit more of a tough task in my eyes to frag out against those 2 teams. Although we do see the circle has actually shifted up north, gone away from LAKONOSTRA, right into the path of like the Team Legend and Goskilla.
LAKONOSTRA will say wait until the very last second to push because like they can just wait for more fights to end and like they can win in positioning points. Depends what they're really aiming for here. But Cream, they're trying to just peek above. They got Alicia, but they got 2 more to take care of. That's going to be Honori and Hunter. 2v2 coming up ahead while Elevate trying to sneak their way through. But OVNEsport, they're going to be a big issue for all these squads located around this compound.
OVN, we haven't talked about them too much. They say pretty safe. Nice one by Honori with the AKM onto Pico. No scope needed. Just a clean knockdown.
Nice spray, of course. It's got pretty big recoil, but when you play like that, oh, you got to say that's a dangerous weapon to have in your hands. While Marley's going to have to move up. The blue zone is going to be moving, so he has too much time. Pecco finds some coverage over to that tree, so Rez is potentially going to come on through, but I don't think that Honori and Hunter are going to let that happen, unfortunately. But OVN, struggling quite a bit. Dusk and Frost, they get taken out. Zuku from Elevate is going to get put down on his knees, with only Will remaining. And there you go, they confirm that 1 frag. OVN up to 3 so far, but they're looking for more. They're looking for blood, and they're ready to shed it.
Yes, OVN. They are inside the circle, right on their own. Victor just doing his best to stay prone down. Got to avoid all the trouble, all the action that's going to kick off on this phase 7 as the blue zone closes in. All the teams on the south side, they're going to be clumped together so quickly.
Oh, Will, you got a pretty big chance at this one, but Cream, there you go. Marley putting off the offensive. He wants that compound for his own. He doesn't need neighbors. LAKONOSTRA, they get taken out by a 1-man army, which is Marley. Absolutely insane.
Using that drop to his advantage, using that crate as protection. Peaks prone, gets the shots off. LAKONOSTRA out in 7th. 16 remaining, 15 players. The 2 teams of Elevate and OVN right near each other, snaking their way through. Team Legend down the hill. MVP up in the north with Goskilla. Legend, MVP, Goskilla. They stayed so safe. The circle has been gifted in their favor time and time again. Let's see if they can make it count.
Oh, here it is. I was about to say we still got 2 full squads remaining at phase 8. That is normally not something you see that often, but that gets put an end to pretty damn swiftly. Team Legend going to be losing 2. OVN still trying to make it through, very close to Weir. He's going to get up, and there you have it. Elevate going to be taken out in 6th position. Finally down to top 5. He sees Marley for a split second. That pick still's a little bit too far out of place. But now Marley, he knows exactly where he's getting shot from, and Novaz might get taken out. But he has that tree to call home, and Marley's still giving his position away. But he's gone M249, which is insane in these kind of small circles, Imperium.
Oh no. My god, he's ready to pop off against all the Team Legend. One goes down, Joker's left standing. He's now doing his best, but he's out in the open. He gets taken down. It was just too much, but by God, did he give it a good run.
Yeah, I don't know if it was scoping him. I think we had maybe a little bit of a graphical issue there, but that was still a really nice attempt from Marley. Unfortunately, will not go any further. We've got 4 more teams remaining. I say OVN, I love their high ground position. They are controlling this game, but MVP Gaming, they don't want to leave Team Legend time to regen from this, and that is a great push from MVP Gaming, timing it absolutely perfectly, and now it'll be the battle for the chicken dinner, the first one of this day for the semi-finals of MVP Gaming versus OVN.
MVP, they need the points, they need the prizes. Sorry, MVP do. Whereas OVN, they'd just be happy with this 2nd place. Nova's knocking down Danny. Now it's just Militia and Necron 2v3.
They're trying their best, but Militia's going to get knocked away. You know what that means. 1v3 coming up. They're going to try and get the flush on Militia. They want to confirm that frag, but no, he's being too careless. And Necron is going to punish that. On Militia, still going to be there in the open. He's going to go for the fight. 1v2. Can you make it work out, Necron? No, you cannot. And you know what that means? It will be going in favor of OVNEsport, securing himself their 2nd chicken dinner of the semi-finals.
Oh my God. OVN. Good stuff from them. They're already lying in 6th place on 88 points with that chicken dinner. 7 kills. That's going to be 27 points. That's going to shoot them up in the standings closer to the likes of Warlords and Cream and even Real Deal.
I'm happy for one team specifically. Of course, I'm really happy for OVN. No, they definitely improved the most in this kind of tournament, things to group stage over to the semi-finals. But Team Legend, saw not insanely impressive kill count, is only 4 kills, which is still pretty damn good, but 3rd position, they were not good in the standings. But these games, if they pull them off 3 more times in a row, might be just enough for them to get in top 24, in top 16. That is what they can try and achieve and aim for. I think they have what it takes. But can they be consistent throughout the 3 more games remaining? Oh, that's going to be the tricky question for them.
Well, here's the thing, like, they were definitely helped by the fact that the circle went in their favor, especially with the likes of Goskilla as well, and OVN on some part, and of course MVP. But they made the best of a good situation, claim the points, and move on to the next game. You mentioned it, it's definitely going to be about consistency for Team Legend. We talk about how one game can definitely perk you up, but with so many teams clawing for that kind of, to stay out of the bottom 7, I feel like it's going to require more than one 3rd place finish.
Oh, definitely. They're going to need a lot more than that. At least they got to increase their kill count. Just a little bit like what Accelerate were able to do at the start of the semi-finals. Even though they did kind of drop off right now. So they got to try their best. But Cream, 5th position, all thanks to Marley. Marley, 7 kills. Oh, you flipping kidding me. That guy was absolutely insane. I mean, his positioning was so good. Lucky that crate dropped right in front of the compound. It did help him to take that fight versus LAKONOSTRA. He made the most out of it. And that's how you play PUBG. When you have a situation in front of you, is how you react to it and how you play it around it. And Marley's a prime example of how a professional player should play in those circumstances.
Yeah, no, he did a great job. Reminded me of what Cream has done time and time again. So really good from Marley. The one thing I will point out, though, for Elevate, and I think it's an important thing to say, they've yet to get a chicken dinner in all of the EU PMCO stage at all. And that's something that, presuming they qualify for the finals, they will heavily have to think about, because when it's only 8 games in the finals, chicken dinners will count.
Definitely. Goskilla, Imperium, 4th position. Is only 2 kills, 1 for Albi, 1 for Savage X, but still, it's step by step. We're going slowly but surely. Slow and steady wins the race, and that's what I think Goskilla and Team Legend are aiming for. Trying their very best, playing it very safe. Circles, maybe not in the favor of most of those squads, but we'll be seeing. But anyways, there you have it. That's game number 1, taken over by none other than OVNEsport, one of the biggest top players and teams in the tournament. They were just showing up so consistently now, and they just woken up. I don't know what the hell was happening in the group stage, But I'm so proud to see them here. I'm ready to show off their insane gameplay. With that said, thank you so much for watching this very first game of the day. We still got 3 more, so stay tuned. Gonna have, of course, Sanhok, then Miramar, and Vikendi to close up the entirety of the European semi-final. So stay tuned, stay there. We'll be back shortly for game number 2 on Sanhok. Gonna try and get the flush. Let's flip and go! And we're ready to jump into our second game of day 4 of the European Spring Split 2020 semi-finals. First game on Erangel, taken over by none other than OVN. Really proud of them, but can they go back on their origin map that they've been known for in the scrims and in the group stage? That is, of course, going to be Sanhok. Imperium, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, you know what, OVN, fantastic job. They deserve a lot of positives on that, but look, I'm sorry, but we have to talk about the teams that are down at the bottom half of the table. We got to talk about the fact that there's so many teams on the same points, that they're all bunched up together, and there's like 31 points dividing, I think, 12th place and 23rd place.
That is going to be really intense between all of these squads. It's going to get pretty close. We'll have to see. A few teams that were able to push up a little bit. You know, we've got PedjaDBoy still in their global vicinity, able to climb a little bit. LAKONOSTRA also doing a similar move, but these teams, they're going to have to put it up to an extra notch. Let's not forget that 16th position and above of that will be, of course, qualified for the finals. But if you're under 16s, from MVP Gaming and below, you're out. So you've got 3 more games to try and change that fate for yourself. A few teams are definitely going to struggle, like Accelerate Esports. They really need to ramp up their games.
They really do, but I feel like it's anybody's game. I do want to point out, credit to Team Legend, moving up to 20th from 24th after a positive result in Game 1. You mentioned LAKONOSTRA going up to 15th. MVP, yeah, they're in 17th, but they're on the same points as TerraMax. So, like, you know, there's nothing in these teams realistically. And then when you go down, yeah, okay, PedjaDBoy there, they've got 10 points to gain to really get close to MVP right now. But then below PedjaDBoy, Legend on 39, UDR on 38, Magic on 37, and Accelerate on 34. That's little to nothing.
Yep, that's just one game, and it can all be just shifted up in the air. We'll not know, unfortunately, right now which teams will be qualified, but you can take a very wild guess as to which ones will be able to make it through. Of course, we've got our top teams like OVN. They are safe and sound as to make it through to the finals. So I can't wait to see what they can do on an even more intense kind of lobby. The Imperium, Sanhok is coming our way. Yesterday, the Sanhok game was won by Throne, and they are going to be playing this one. Oh, no, they're not going to be here. They didn't play, but like, no. It was one then by Group A. That's what my point I was trying to get to, but I said it the wrong way. But like, we had a member of Group A. So now, Group B and Group C, we're going to have to see which one of these two groups together against each other can transfer himself a nice dub on Sanhok. Because let's not forget it, it's a very random map in terms of knowing which team can take the win most of the time.
It is. It's unpredictable. It's a little bit kind of not scary, but it's just unpredictable. It can be anybody's game, and that's where it's going to be up to the teams to react, play it as much as they can, and just, you know, try to get somewhat in the center of the circle.
That's what we're going to hope. So this playing path a little bit, you know, focused to the east, but because it's a 4x4 map, I keep on saying it, it's not an issue for these teams. Red Reserve, they're here. They should be good for boot camp. Most of the time you see the big fight there. There was Red Reserve versus Throne in boot camp. The Throne, recently, they started giving up on the area, and that means the Red Reserve were able to build up their confidence as an only team that built there. And also now that Throne's not even here, they are super confident in dropping there right away.
Now, we do know that Terror and MVP, they like to land in Pineham. Will that be the same thing? No more next in this set of games to overtake the corner parts as well, so that could give it a little bit more space to the likes of Dope and LAKONOSTRA. Both those teams like to land in around Rune's location. Elevate, as usual, gonna head down south on Sam Nee.
And as there's no next, that means that the Cross River section is open for the taking. This circle would be definitely really valuable for them. So I'd love to see which team can try and go for it. Magic, gonna go in Camp Charlie. We'll have to see what's going to be happening. But it seems like my feed is a little bit frozen. So that is fine. We'll fix that. We'll just see my face for the time being. Well, no, we'll check you guys, actually show you the global standings. We'll have to refresh.
I can do a little bit of radio casting as my feed is A-OK. What is interesting about Elevate is, they have landed in Sam Nee, but there is Focus who's shifted a little bit more directly south, closer to Magic, who landed in Camp Charlie. Camp Charlie. Yeah,
it's Camp Charlie. They did go there. But we are back in the game, Imperium. Sorry for that. Not too sure what happened with the feed, but it is A-OK. we're going to be, of course, in the same area of Painan, the two teams that usually always drop there. That's going to be MVP and Terra. But Terra has a really good history in fighting in that area, so MVP just don't want to have to deal with it. We saw that OVN actually never getting pretty split out of there. Really intrigued to see if he's actually going to commit, which I would personally not recommend, especially having to cross 2 road sections. Never, just got to hold on through and wait for his team to push on with him.
Frost went down early on, so OVN are down to 3 players. 2 of those teams like to land in around a similar area. There are grenades being thrown out, but from another angle, it's going to be Frost coming in.
Frost is known for his flanks. You just can't fight back against it. And it out for blood, it out for these kills. Mike left alone, trying to pull off potentially a little bit of healing. But Victor's coming out from the other side of the building. Is going to get sandwiched up. But Frost from the backside. Kush is on the rise field. And he gets instantly knocked away. Frost, the res could be really hard to pull off. Never still in play. But he sees it with that third-person perspective. Is going to peek out. Is it really worth it? And he tries it, but he doesn't even connect the bullets with that Victor. Mike, okay. Fair enough.
He doesn't deserve to own a Vector. I'm sorry. He does not have the Vector power that he can control. Like they say, inspire the man with great power, with great responsibility.
Mike, he misses it twice in a row, but now that allows Victor to move on through. They're going to try and cook up that nade, but Frost will finally be taken over by Kush, so that will be fine. And Mike, you know, going to get knocked away, but that kill should have been ages ago, and he should have left the compound ages ago too.
That's the thing, because he went for the confirmed kill onto Frost. He actually pinched himself inside the hut, and Victor knew exactly how to respond to that. And all the while, we saw another member of We Are Vietnamese being knocked down. That's going to put the fight firmly in the hands of OVN.
Yeah, I mean, Novaz is also a man that loves to flank a little bit in those fights, so WAVietnamese just going to give up on it. Kush will normally get confirmed. No, normally it's going to be pretty sure going to get confirmed away by OVN. That's going to be their 3rd point this game. And we said it, this is their stellar map on which they perform best. And they added a little bit of this Sanhok gameplay to their Erangel games, allowing them to secure so far some really good chicken dinners on that map. And I've got to say, their involvement curve has been absolutely insanely nice to look at. And they're off to a great start once more.
Yeah, they have evolved fantastically throughout this group stage, and look, like I said, we saw glimmers of hope from them. We saw glimmers of brilliance in the scrims that we casted in the lead up of the EU PMCO. But man, they've taken those results in scrims, they've taken the results from group stages, and they've ramped them up big time to find themselves right now ahead of Cream Esports in the standings. And when you're ahead of Cream Esports in the standings, that's no mean feat considering how consistent and strong Cream Esports look.
The strength of a good esport team for any team involved is being able to learn from your mistakes. And their team, you know, during the scrims, they did a fair amount. I mean, that's completely fine. It's okay. You're there to do mistakes in the scrims, but they learned from them. They evolved on it. And now, because of that, and also doing the VOD review on all these games, they become one of the most consistent teams to watch out for in these semi-finals. So, guys, even if you're not off to a great start, putting your hard work and effort will always pay out in the world of esports.
And now, as these teams are shifting a little bit closer towards the center circle, I mentioned how Elevate had in some way landed close to Magic. Magic are behind him right now. Elevate looking for the compound, not so close to the circle, and also a little bit downhill that could go against them. As I don't know if Syed was just going for like a bit of a distraction shot, but either way, I don't know.
Yeah, gave his position away, but that's fine. I mean, I don't think they're going to commit to a fight, go downhill onto Elevate. Doesn't seem very worthy, though. Red Reserve, they seem pretty split. As I've seen, Ked doing Ked things. I see you, Ked. Stop it right now. Get back to your team. I'm going to get mad, okay? You'll be punished, okay? No ice cream tonight.
What? Oh, Bear getting knocked down. LAKONOSTRA gonna confirm that kill. No revive for Terra. Terra have not had a good run so far. They currently lie in 16th spot, just about on the qualifying spot, but they're on the same points as 17th, which is MVP.
They're on the verge of getting qualified. They cannot afford a bad performance, Imperium. LAKONOSTRA, they got the compound terror. They know this is maybe not a good position to hold on to because you give your position away pretty heavily. They're going to move on through while Goskilla and Accelerate fighting across this ravine or this, like, you know, a little bit of a valley area to play around. While I'll be trying to make it through. He's got some smokes. But Accelerate will unfortunately be losing Sakuru. That was indeed confirmed. And Goskilla is still raining it down, but because they got a compound, that means that Accelerate are pretty safe for the time being.
Yeah, but then again, you got the 3 players of Goskilla who are popping shots off at the members of Accelerate from the background. Albi is simply at this point trying to be a bait for Accelerate. He's trying to go, hey, here guys, come here. I'm a free kill. No, you've just been baited, mother truckers. That's exactly what Goskilla are going for.
I think he's also in a way stuck. I think he goes back up here. He's going to get shut down by Accelerate. So he's like, this was a good move, but now I can't move away, so I've got to wait for the fight to end or the circle to shift.
Hey, I didn't say he was doing it on purpose, okay? But, you know, or I
now
didn't
I'm here,
know
might make the most out of it, you know?
Exactly, as Goskilla still trying to pop shots off on Accelerate.
Oh, that is dangerously close. He takes the shot on Victor, but not able to get that initial knockdown. And that means he's in a world of trouble. Niva and Novaz, they're going to join on through while Victor's just running away. He's been really respectful. He knows he can't take this fight. And he wants to go back with the team. It's a team game after all. Why not use that man advantage to, indeed, your advantage? Yeah. But why so easy? He's going to get absolutely battered by OVN, and that's their 4th kill so far.
That's going to be the end of WAVietnamese. We're lying currently in the 18th spot, so not a good place for them to be in. If they do follow up with 2 more bad results, that could leave them in a position where they will not qualify. They needed all the points. They were 7 points behind MVP in 17th. Only getting 1 point from this game, and with MVP still in this game, that's going to trail them even further down the standings and further away from the top 16.
I hope that they won't have like a bad take on the situation and be like very frustrated and annoyed at it, because when you start going down that path, it's very easy to just get like, get a little bit salty at the game, and then it's just downhill from here, there on out. So I hope they'll be able to keep a calm and chill mentality throughout these games. That is definitely what we need, especially on a map like Sanhok. It's very frustrating when you die early. It does happen eventually. We'll see if they can make a comeback on Miramar and Vikendi.
Now we are going to see phase 2 rearing its ugly head, so to speak.
What catches?
In the next
whole phase 2.
Well,
what did phase 2 do to you? Did it shift away from you too many times? That way?
Everybody shifts away from me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm all alone. Anyway, okay. Now phase 2 gonna show up. Just like all the women that's entered my life, they're gonna leave. Phase 2 is gonna be exposed. Come on, get there. I've talked about it for the last like 20 seconds. There you go.
Okay, I don't know if I feel bad for you, Imperium, or if I laugh. I'm a little bit unsure of where to go here. But Circle Shift going to be pretty central. UDRKILLERS, they got a nice position. Painan would be also good, but most of the teams left Painan open, which is a little bit surprising. But Cream, they took over the area of Bootcamp. But what I do like Red Reserve, the fact that they shifted away from Bootcamp, went for the high ground mountain on the southern side of Bootcamp, gives them just so much information that is always so valuable, especially on a map like Sanhok, where a little bit of information could save your lives.
But I worry because holding on to the high ground above Bootcamp is incredibly tough, because there's not exactly a high amount of flat land on top of the hill. It kind of curves quite sharply. So 1 minute you're like, there's a bit of flat land towards the east of that hill, but towards the west side, you're either, looking down at Bootcamp or you're looking down at Painan.
Oh, Ked, you are so lucky. I swear to God, I'm so surprised UDRKILLERS did not peek you out. They were looking at the same, like another opposite direction. He was hidden by like a few planks of the compound. I swear you were so lucky on that one. That would have been the easiest kill ever for UDR. But you know what? He made it out, and he's going to be safe. Still 4 members remaining for Red Reserve.
And UDRKILLERS are on that triangular point on the southwest island. They covered a spot that Next like to hold on to. That could pay off for them down the line.
REXPECT, they're going to be taking over, the compound I've been talking about, Painan, which I was surprised the team's left alone, but seemed like REXPECT understand the value and can bring this compound to your rotations later on down the line. So I think that this is a good call from REXPECT, and because they'll know teams there, is also no team going to defend it, so that was good from them.
I don't think so. I think it's a good... Yeah, I don't agree with going to Painan in phase 2, especially because the Circle has has shifted so far up north. You don't get much information around Painan area, to be perfectly honest, and disengaging away when too many teams end up getting close by can really go against you. That's in my opinion.
Okay. It's just a water compound, so of course it gives you a lot of like gap closing potential and also just rotation potential, which I do enjoy. But, you know, that's fine. But Elevate, they understand it too. I mean, if a lot of teams are there, they got to say, there's something good about Painan. But that's going to be REXPECT versus Elevate. Elevate, they got a nice little bar of an advantage there, pushing from the southern side. But now, because they got shut down by this cross-section between the northern side and southern side, you can't really cross too easily, so Elevate gonna have to calm that one down a little bit, while Goskilla going for the breach on the compound of Team Legend, and Joker's gonna be on the front line, while YT's put extremely low, has to retreat, but at least now they have something which is really valuable, which is intel. The team is currently there.
Yeah, and Team Legend, a great spot on the west side of, on the northwest side of Quarry. As Goskilla trying to find a Team Legend, they need all the points that they can get. But from the back end, PedjaDBoy coming in and third-partying onto Predator, taking him out.
Yeah, Predator is a goner right now, and Goskilla, they got the intel maybe a few seconds earlier that this was the team that was in their compound, but Goskilla, no, they're not going to commit too heavily. Also because this kind of compounds are really easy to defend because they've got these walls around, and in third-person mode, they're really easy to use to your full advantage. So I think that's a really good rotation backwards from Goskilla, and it can only be good from here on out for them because they just played it really passive.
Yeah, because I'm pretty confident they know that that was Predator and Team Legend that were in front of them, and they see that on the kill feed and they go, wait, no, there's a third party potential against us if we go any closer to Team Legend, so back off. All the while, we will see Phase 3 showing up in the next 10 to 20 seconds. Will it shift up north? Will it stay down south? Normally, we do see southwest circles, but who knows?
We'll be seeing shifts up north. That means Painan, you just leave it. You don't secure that position anymore. We'll keep an eye out. UDRKILLERS, they're going to have to rotate a little bit further, maybe potentially on the northern island to go around and wrap over the north. But OVN, they got a safe position. They got a few compounds to pick from. They can rotate. They got to do it now, though. Otherwise, they're going to struggle. But all the south is going to get so much action, I can't even begin to imagine.
Here's why it was a bad call for REXPECT to go that deep into Painan. They can't go down south because Elevate and Magic are there. They can't go up north because MVP and Reserve are there. They're stuck in Painan for now. And that's where I don't like that kind of position from these teams. You're really putting all your eggs in one basket. If they had gone for a 2-2 split in maybe in 2 on one area of Painan and 2 on another area, yeah, fair enough. But all 4 members clumped up on one area, it was going to go against them.
Depends on how fast you rotate, because Elevate already made it early out of Painan, so they make it nice and smoothly out of that. They've got to be careful. They're a little bit of a slope. They're going to be fighting with 2 squads at the same time. Accelerate on the better high ground position. Kind of getting sandwiched up. Hopefully they'll be able to continue themselves in a more central position in the circle. But that means that now Skirp is going to be allowed to get res back up. While Zuku, from Elevate, going to bite the bullets of Master.
Yeah, it's tough for Elevate, to be perfectly honest. Rotated up from the south side of Painan. They've had Magic trailing on their backs since the start of this game. And now they're striking while the iron is hot. All the while, Will is going to really pop off, take down a member of Magic, as Magic confirm the kill onto Zuku.
Yep, he's out. Will, unfortunately, split away from the remaining members of his team, so he's going to be a little bit struggling to potentially hold that angle. We'll have to see. I mean, he's got Pocus, he's not quite in a building, but then the open class is going to go back to his squad. He knows they've got to try and take this one head on with their 3 members, which is, I think, is the best way to go about it. And Magic, you know, they got 2-2 split, so it might be a little bit hard for them to hold the position, but Scoop just recently res back up and instantly knocked back down once again.
I get knocked down, but I get up again, only to get knocked down again. If you are Skirp, I'd say I will get that revive. But here's the thing, the blue zone's closing in. Yes, it's only phase 3, so it's not the highest amount to take damage, but it's not going to make it easy. It's not going to make it pretty for these teams rotating in from the outside of the circle.
Team Dope now, a little bit split and spread upon this bridge. Terra trying to hold it their very best. I think they might be struggling to do so. So let's not forget that very early in the game, Janata and Beer were flushed out from Terra. To hold it versus the full squad of Team Dope, that one's going to be pretty harsh. You can't set up a bridge camp with only 2.
Terra just trying to hold on, gonna throw the smokes, boys. He throws down just in time. This kid just trying to expose Terra, but it's just not enough.
Struggling a little bit. Head not quite able to get it at the end. Icy getting prone in the right amount of time. That was a great play, but now he has the better high ground position. Got to wait for that smoke to wear out to get any kind of impact. Icy got to get back to Broccoli there, because he's in the open. He's in a really scary spot, but unfortunately crossing the road, he's got to pop off some utility, was I was about to say, and he will be doing just that. But Goskilla really struggling versus Magic.
Oh my
Magic,
God.
they're just claiming every single kill. It's phase 4. The tick damage is pretty consequential, but Albie, can he hold this one alone without the help of Savage X?
I think it could be, although with the revives coming out onto members of Magic, it just could be too much for him to handle. They are taking phase 4 tick damage. That's the thing for Magic. However, you know, Savage X, even though he's knocked down, he is giving communication as to where Magic are, so that could definitely help Albie. All the while, it hasn't come up on our feed, but phase 4 has shifted up north, Max, and guess what? About 40% of this circle is in the river.
Oh, this is not going well, but here it is. Magic, they're going to force through this barrier set up by Albie. But because it's a one-man army, he's not going to be able to do too much against that. But Magic, they're not out of the woods. They need to get a better position. And Albie going to get shot from the back. Skirp was still in the blue. And that means they sandwiched him up. And that's going to be Goskilla eliminated in 15th position, Imperium.
Oh, that was cheeky, but I like that by Magic. I really liked it. Although they're still not out of the woods yet. Literally and figuratively, as Kapahalov accelerate, they're still a 3-man team. Gonna try and bridge them on the edge of the circle and REXPECT drive forward. They've got Terror near them. They've got Team Dope near them, as they also have to make their way into the circle outside of Painan.
REXPECT jumping in the water to make sure Terra is there, but they don't know how many. They're not taking any risk, sending Cast on the lower side to split up their forces. And no, not B2 is going to join him in a midnight, just to kind of pull. They made it through. They are fine for the time being, but the blue zone is still shifting upon them. That's going to make it even harder for them to make it out. And if they keep on running, Terra and REXPECT might have information on each other, and one of those T teams might die out, but we might actually have a boot camp finish, Imperium.
God.
Oh,
and look at this. PedjaDBoy coming in from the east. Cream have gotten rid, I believe, of Team Legend. So Cream hold on to boot camp. Red Reserve normally calls it their home. But Cream are going to hold on top as Alicio gets taken down by UDR.
UDRKILLERS taking way too long to rotate away from that position. They should have tried to anticipate it a little bit more. So now they struggled. They sent 2 through the water. At least Ulysses made it to the mainland. Here's Red Reserve. Red Reserve, they got the better position this game. Why? Because you know that nobody's going to be on the northwestern island. Because it shifted away, and teams know that it's not going to go there. So, of course, no team in their right mind would go there. So Red Reserve, they know that, and they took the better position, thinking about that accordingly.
Oh, yeah, other than the member uses, they don't have to worry about the teams that are kind of to the west of them. They can just look in all the directions, from the north to the east to the southwest. As Team Dope, they're hanging on, holding out, but they got teams shifting in all around them. It's MVP looking to edge camp them, but MVP, they're on the boot camp hill. It's shifted away, and Max, for the final Sanhok game of the semi-final stage, we are going to have a boot camp finish.
A boot camp finish will be upon us. Let's flip and go for the last Sanhok game of the Summies. You couldn't ask for anything better. While UDRKILLERS, they lose member after member. Elevate, really struggling with that blue zone, unfortunately. The team don't, they make it back blind, unfortunately. Their scout was taken away by the one and only Classed. I believe it was him low on the section. Team Dope, they're going to have to make up. It was only 2-door. BGD and Bazzi remaining, but now the fight to get a position in boot camp is going to be unfolding. Which teams will get there first and gatekeep all the others from crossing that road? We'll have to keep an eye out for that.
Oh, I'll tell you why, it doesn't matter, because Red Reserve are cleaning up on the coastal line outside boot camp. Team Dope trying to hold on. MVP looking for them all the while. Look at Ked popping off in the feed. That's going to be pretty much the end of LAKONOSTRA. The blue zone's closing in. They go down the hill. This is going to be a tough task for MVP.
Oh, Team Dope really struggling. Tudor's already made it to the circle, but you can't say the same thing about Bazzi. They should die out to the blue or to a few bullets getting thrown their global direction. But Red Reserve, I said it, what a great position to play with. VSS shot from Tudor, but unfortunately the VSS, the damage per second isn't all that insane, so he's going to get completely out-traded in that engagement.
Oh my god, now phase 6 is going to be popping up soon. Will it stay in boot camp? K cleans up the trash that is... Actually, no, that is said in a bad way. I do not mean that at all. He cleans up what he needs to do, and now they turn their attention on to the remaining player of UDRKILLERS, of course. Taking that blue zone is definitely going to hurt them, but he's holding out. Faces has shifted up towards the west side. It is outside most of boot camp, and guess who's up on the north side? That's OVN, all on their own.
Oh, two big contenders for this game. The circle does shift a little bit away from boot camp, so we'll have to see how the teams will be responding to that. Cream, Magic, MVP Gaming, and PedjaDBoy, they're all in there, but unfortunately they're going to fight for the very slim amount of buildings that are located on the west of boot camp. So this is fight going to be happening on the east, but now the western side is going to be fight for the high ground position between OVN and Red Reserve, and the fight is currently ongoing with a few nades getting chucked over.
Red Reserve, ignore it, back away, focus on what's in front of you. You have to get into the circle as Skirp gets knocked down. Reese and the rest of Cream holding on to boot camp, but look at PedjaDBoy coming in from an angle. That's going to be a bad grenade by Master.
Unfortunately, because he got a little bit hit by a nade, I mean, he put his aim a little bit off, so unfortunate for him. But Magic, they still got Satan Master. The res on... Oh, I was about to say it was not going to happen on Skirp, but he's going to be out normally. While PedjaDBoy's trying to wrap around on the northern side. Let the fight happen before you actually go for the third-party perspective. Cream trying their very best. Reeves was knocked out. I'm not sure if the res will be coming on through. Seems pretty harsh one for me. And there you have it. OVN and Red Reserve, they're still having the fight happening. It's not looking good for both sides.
God, but look at Red Reserve.
They're pushing in.
Echo pushing in. Agon going on this side of the building. They're on 11 kills so far. Are they going to go for the 20 bomb? This is the kind of game Red Reserve need for their confidence as they surround the members of Cream.
Oh, the circle! The circle shift away. All the teams are going to be in the open in a matter of 40 seconds, Imperium. This is not looking good. And you still got 6 teams, 15 players all alike. But only one team will be able to take this one. While OVN, they're trying to play the long game, trying to avoid detection and stay prone in the grass before taking the third party of the century to secure this chicken dinner.
Back off! Nice shot, nice knockdown, but OVN, they're on the north side, but they're being affected by PedjaDBoy. Heal up. The revive come out by Pico onto his teammate of Cream. This is tough. It's frantic. It's crazy. Bodies are everywhere, but they're all going to be lying on the ground in a matter of minutes.
Oh, Red Reserve, they get taken out. That's going to be Magic securing those frags. They're up to 7. I mean, you got to say, Red Reserve, last time I saw they had 9, so that's still a really good game from them. Down now to top 5 teams. The fight's happening on Cream. Pekko's left alone, but he's a one-man army, but unfortunately PedjaDBoy is just way too much for him to deal with. And now they're going to hold this area while Magic, they still have one. That's going to be Master. Can he make it through? I'm not too sure. I mean, he's definitely doing some more of an improvement, leaving Herbs alone against him in a one-on-one scenario, but his ally's going to come on through very shortly. That's going to be Iris. And there you go. Magic got out in 3rd position. Down to now PedjaDBoy and OVN. But I said it, OVN, they're playing the long game. They get one, looking for the last one, but it will not be going their way. It will be taken over by none other than PedjaDBoy.
PedjaDBoy, they were lying in 19th place on 39 points before this game. You give him a chicken dinner, you give him 8 kills, now you give him 28 points, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. They're going to find themselves in the top 16.
This is why we say pulling off a PedjaDBoy. You're low in the standings, you know you got to try and come up, and there it is. When you have your back up to against the wall, you are pulling off the performance of a lifetime. That is 6, 7, 8 kills and a chicken dinner. Surprisingly good from them. They played this kind of similar performance as OVN in that game, trying to play up north, letting the fights happen before going for third party. They did that really well. And it worked out perfectly. OVN really struggling because they did not have the man advantage to do the same thing as PedjaDBoy. OVN and PedjaDBoy play that game exactly how you should. The passive and the long game.
Well, PedjaDBoy, they got a little bit more in the thick of the action than OVN, though. Credit where credit is due to PedjaDBoy. They did enter in to boot camp, so they were looking a little bit spicier compared to OVN. And then you look at Magic in 3rd, getting 8 kills. The likes of Skirp with his teammates getting a good result, and then you had Red Reserve. This is a card I've been waiting to see in the semifinals. This is the Red Reserve we're used to seeing, Max. We see them in scrims. We even saw them for a couple of games in group stage. Finally, they come alive in the semifinals.
Coming alive indeed. I'm so happy to see it come out, but I saw those kill counts of a few of these squads, like, holy moly, guacamole, like Red Reserve. How many was that at the end? I didn't actually see. They had like 9?
12 kills?
Last time I saw it was 9 when they were still on the mountain, but like they wrapped that one up to 11. So proud of the guys. Still not quite chicken dinner. I thought it would, but the circle shift was pretty harsh against them. And they had to try and force on through, and because there were so many squads fighting in there, it was just way too overwhelming. Still, the attempt was really good, and I've got to give them credit for that.
Like, at the end of the day, you know, this kind of game is a reason why a lot of the teams hot drop in boot camp on Sanhok, because that situation is what prepares you for this. And even though Cream didn't get, you know, the best result, they still did what they needed to do to get a positive result. It's not gonna allow them to overtake OVN, because OVN got as good, if not a better result, but it was still very well executed overall for Cream, getting 4th place with 4 kills.
MVP Gaming also putting in some work. That's 5th position with 2 kills. You've got to mention that a little bit, because they got actually 2nd position last game. Slow and Steady wins the race. They're making it through. They're not getting the big chicken dinners, the big kill counts we're expecting, but these are the kind of performances do you need and do you require. This is a necessity for them.
Yeah, they're getting the 8-10 points per game that they need. Okay. The fact that so many teams around them are also vying and climbing to get those points, it does hurt getting that average point. But when you do it every single game, it's going to show up in the final standing. So really happy indeed for MVP to get that result.
OVN, chicken dinner, 2nd position, like after back-to-back. This team is absolutely insane. And even Agath, you know, I was talking about the mod. He's actually the manager of the team. I did not know that. Insane mod, insane manager, helping the team get so many good wins. I gotta say, good players and good manager, it goes well together. I'm so proud of them. I can't wait to see what they can do now on game number 3, which will be localized on good old and very sweaty Miramar. Guys, don't move. We'll be back shortly for your insane Miramar action. Holy moly, guacamole, extra cheese, and pepperoni. What an insane game that was on good old Sanhok. Definitely some good performances coming on through. PedjaDBoy secured himself their very first chicken dinner of the semi-finals, and hopefully this is their path to success. Starting off right now with still 2 more games to go. The next game, which will be on Miramar. Imperium, Miramar coming up.
Hell.
Miramar.
Okay, I kind of don't know how to deal with that, but indeed.
Take
Yeah,
as you want.
PedjaDBoy, they did it in group stage, getting that result they needed. They've done it in semi-finals. Is it going to be enough? It's still open for debate. But I say, look, you know, we got to point out the top of the standings real quick for OVN overtaking next, as well as Cream. But they've gotten themselves into second place overall. And if OVN continue, they could easily overtake Hate Gaming and get into the first place spot.
I mean, they're just, what, 21 points away in 2 games? That is easily achievable, especially for OVNEsport, seeing how good they did on their 2 first games. Chicken din on Erangel, second position over here on Sanhok. They pull off one more game like that, and they are set up for victory. They take number 1 position, and they're off to a great start. But Cream, you know, they could still be rock in their shoe. There could be a big trouble for them to take that number 1 position. But before we do jump into the game, we got to see these teams that are in the danger zone currently, because a lot of these teams will be going out at the end of these 2 next games.
Oh man, it's still so close. I said the ballpark was GSMC downwards, and I still believe that. However, GSMC, they've fallen down and down. Obviously, they're not playing today, so that's nothing they can do. MVP, they've moved up from 17th to 15th. The biggest loser, though, I've got to point them out, and they failed to impress me. Maybe they're just bowing too heavily to the pressures. Terror Esports, they drop down and down throughout these standings. They lie in 19th place, 50 points. And what's worse is they're 16 points behind MVP in 15th. We are starting to see that gap in the overall standings, Max.
I'm really sad to see Terror potentially go like that, because they showed their genius that their gameplay has. They showed their potential, their true potential, and yet they haven't been able to take it out of the box today. So 2 games, Terra, it's now or never. I have to say it. You have no more second chances. You need your 2 good games to be decent. You need to hit your point average, or otherwise you are goners, and we'll have to say see you later in full split.
Yeah, see you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile. Yeah, PedjaDBoy, they currently like 13th, right? 68 points. But it's not safe. It's not the same as it was in the group stages. Yeah, like I said, you have that kind of, you know, 18-point gap ahead of 19th place, but ahead of 17th place, LAKONOSTRA, they're in 61. That's only 7 points back. 7 points dividing 17th place and 13th place.
That is not a lot. You've got to keep that in mind. Just 1 game could shift up the entirety of the danger zone. And we'll be able to know pretty shortly. We'll be able to speculate after this game on Miramar a little bit how things will be going about. So we'll be seeing. But anyways, Imperium, the plane is here. And where are we dropping? Going from the south, west, straight on over. Is going to be a pretty central plane. Is going to be pretty decent for these teams. Actually, I think actually pretty southern, seeing how it's currently going towards the area of like Lipov. Where's it going? It's in Impala.
It's going, yeah. So it's going to be good for Cream that like to land on the outskirts of Los Leones. However, because it is pretty close to that location, that does mean that there's a higher chance that more teams could land around them, which could put them under a bit more pressure early on.
All the teams that like to go like Cobriera, Campo Militar might struggle a little bit, so we'll be seeing just a little bit how that might go on through for them. Team Dope, they like to go in Val Del Mar early on. They're going to be dropping, but they're not going to be the only one. Imperium, we are Vietnamese, will also be dropping in that global area. And we'll be seeing how that fight could be going on early. None of these 2 squads really can afford a bad game. They need to do pretty good. Otherwise, that might be their downfall in the semi-finals. UDRKILLERS dropping over Chumacera. Going to be pretty split. Marco got to get back over to his team if possible. But otherwise, they're going to be mostly nicely split around this area, even though the plane is not the best to do so.
I'm just quietly kind of holding off, right? You know, I just know that with this Miramar game being, you know, it's Miramar. We normally see a passive early game. We've already seen, other than Sanhok, like the Erangel game was considerably passive. So I'm expecting much the same from Miramar, and especially with that phase 1 circle being so central in the map, teams are already going to be located somewhat well inside the circle, so rotations aren't really going to be too harsh for these teams.
I mean, also, we had this circle so many times, right? Like, they're going to get used to this. They know exactly how to deal with this normally. And I'm pretty stoked to see what could be coming on through. Goskilla, they're playing the very edge because they know that this is going to be a very important game for their performances. So they're going to play definitely the very long one. Actually, little interesting point, Imperium. None of the teams have won in this Group B and Group C lobby a Miramar game on the semi-finals. So the only team that got close to that was actually REXPECT, that got a second position versus Hate Gaming. So it's interesting to see which one of these 16 teams got the chance and the potential of taking this chicken dinner.
That's a really good point. When you're looking at least at the group stage results, Magic was the team out of these two groups that got the highest amount of points with 46 in 2 games. That's an average of 23. I believe one of those was a chicken dinner, though, if I'm not mistaken. And then down below, it was actually the next best team was UDRKILLERS with 26.
Ooh, that was a close call for Mike. Doesn't quite get knocked away, but it was pretty close to 10th on Bazzi. That's going to be just fine. Dope, then, you know, a little bit split. At least the thing is, they got the intel now, so both teams can fight accordingly. Well, fight. I say fight, but really what they should both do is finish looting and get out, because the 9 circle is not a place that's worth fighting for, and you don't want to die, especially on phase 1 on a Miramar game.
I'm not sure if you were trying to say that they should fight or they shouldn't fight, because you said
they have to disengage. Yeah, they have to disengage.
Yeah, disengage. No problem. No problem. Like, you know, I was genuinely a little bit confused by that. I was like, wait, he said fight. I'm not sure if he means like they should fight or shouldn't fight, but I totally disagree. They should disengage. They both need the points. Dope are definitely looking a lot healthier and safer in the overall standings. In 9th place, they've moved up exponentially. But it's still, look, it's not over till it's over.
We'll be seeing, but it seemed like Team Dope did not disengage as they should. They're trying to potentially find some early peaks. I think they should stop trying to peek out, just finish the early team phase, get out. But then Mars also, he's got a lot of car spawns, so their early game stage should be good. He's still got 30, well, now it's going to be 25 seconds before this next phase starts moving on. They'll be one of the first teams in the blue. Hopefully they won't have to tank it at all, and you can already see that the opposing side already started rotating early, which is still nice.
Now, we saw in the previous Miramar game, Max, that this game ended up around La Bandita. It could easily be the same. And I absolutely loved that finish as well, because La Bandita, it was really nice the way the teams reacted around the edge. And we didn't see too many teams in the center of La Bandita, because you don't really want to go there unless the circle actually goes there. So I'm excited to hopefully see another La Bandita finish.
Oh, that circle's right around. It was like almost pixel perfect on the map. It was really, really satisfying to watch, actually. But we were talking earlier in Imperium at the start of this game during the playing path of how most of the teams are going to have already a nice position to play with. Red Reserve had one of the best, in my opinion. It's pretty nice and central. It's got some nice car spawns. The loot is really good. And I already talked so many times of how Picado offers you so many alternatives in terms of rotating. I think they have a really good place to, like, they got a lot of options because of this Picado drop.
They do, however, because it is generally quite central to the circle, and Picado can be a little bit, you know, it can take you a while to loot up. I worry that too many teams might go too close to them, that they won't find a confident spot for themselves before phase 2 shows up.
Are you talking smack of my Picado, Imperium?
No,
Are you talking smack of my Picado, Imperium? How dare you? Nah, it's fine. There's a little bit of issue because there's so many like high ground around it, so you can get pressured in that way. But oh, hey, that looked pretty cool. You know what? I'll give that juicy 8. That was actually, I like that.
Man, I would give that 9.5, man. Yeah, that was clean. That was so clean, and he didn't get knocked by Red Reserve. Job done, man.
Just like that was Matrix, but in a car. That is Transformers Matrix just coming together, having a baby, and giving you what Ulysses did.
Wait, what? Okay, I'm not that high up on the whole Transformers robots' names.
But Matrix. Matrix. You know Matrix.
As in the film Matrix?
Yes. When he
it's called
dodges bullets
Matrix,
and
not
everything.
Matrix.
I mean, I'm French, okay? So give me some slack, please.
Okay, fair enough. I will give you some slack there. Have you seen the film Matrix? Matrix 1, Matrix 2, or Matrix 3?
Can someone please do like a montage video of like Imperium making a fun of my French accent? You'll easily have a 10-minute video to get ad revenue, don't worry.
Hey, content, you know.
This is not content, this is bullying, okay? I like it, that car just peeking.
Potatoes, you know, let's not get technical, Max.
I wanna. Nah, it's fine. We're gonna see Terra like playing a more passive position because they did get breach kind of messed up on Erangel. We did see that happen, unfortunately, for them. Even on Sanhok. So playing high ground, getting intel is going to be a lot better for them. Also, they are a team that are in the danger zone, and you just mentioned it when we were talking at the standings. They're a team that they can't afford another bad game. One more performance, and you're gone.
They need it. They need this more than they've probably needed kind of anything as a PUBG Mobile team, and I don't say that like in an exaggerated way. This is what they have prepared for, and they want to succeed in it.
Yeah. Oh, not BT of REXPECT. Gonna go in the open. I mean, at least he gave the information over. He was the scout of his team. He gave the intel, and now the other teams can avoid getting sprayed away by MVP Gaming. MVP Gaming, though, in the open, some bolt or DML action could mess them up kind of heavily, so they've got to be careful. And also rotating away from here can be harsh if the circle is not in your favor.
And that's the thing. We don't know where this phase 2 is going to go. If it does shift up north, it's going to be a little bit harsher for teams down south as Reserve fighting up against Elevate.
Seemed like they gave up on Picardo early, trying to find a better position. High ground is always going to be a good thing to trade off a lower side compound. But Elevate, now they've got the intel. Pocus just over there was his minivan. Is he going to try and snipe it through? Or Sonic is... Where the hell is Sonic? He's really far, it seemed. Well, he is indeed really far. What are you doing out there, Sonic? I mean, now Pocus has got the information. He's going to go on the high ground, peek it out, and that should normally be the end of Sonic, unless he's got some way to hide himself. The terrain is actually pretty harsh over there, so Sonic can make it through. But the nade might come perfectly against Sonic.
A little bit far away. Pocus does not want to peek too heavily. Going to wait for support from his teammate. That is a more successful grenade.
That was pretty nice. Also, if you get rid of his car, he won't be able to rotate anyway, so now Elevate will just have to wait to get that kill. Another, how many nades? Zuka's got quite a bunch, actually, surprising. Pretty on point, but still not quite there. I gotta say, the intention, though, is definitely present. Really respect from Elevate. But now they lost class. Oh, the IGL is a goner. Myria will be taken out. That's going to be a trade-off with Red Reserve. Sees Aegon too. That's going to be normally a double for Zuku. He does get the double frag. He can't trade it off just yet. Well, here it is. This is not looking good. Elevate down to now 2. That's going to be Zuko and Will remaining. Poker still in a res-worthy position. The Red Reserve, they just got absolutely battered.
Honestly,
where did they push that? I don't know.
Yeah, look, you know what? Red Reserve, they were too separate. They were too split up. You can't really do that on Miramar. It's so open. You know, you should know that Elevate like to land down south around kind of the Los Leones area, give or take, and they're going to rotate up. And yeah, Red Reserve had disengaged away from Picado, but they disengaged kind of towards the southeast, and I have no problem with that. But man, look, definitely a disappointing Miramar game for Red Reserve. They have qualified during the safe spot. That game will get to their heads.
Yeah, they got a little bit Kirky pushing up on them, unfortunately, and what we're seeing with that going. Oh, but I'm seeing on the western side, UDRKILLERS, Terra Esports, OVN. That's a pretty big stack of teams. They're all fighting for the high ground position on the south of San Martin, which I understand is really valuable. I understand why you might want to try and get a fight. But now there's such a low area, especially in the center. That's a big pack of teams. That means a lot of fights will be potentially breaking out early, which doesn't happen too often on Miramar.
Well, we're seeing kind of clusters of teams in areas that are really important, and I like that. I have absolutely no problem with that, because it means that the teams are recognizing where positions are valuable, and they want to try and overtake those spots. So early game engagements like this, I'm all good for.
I mean, if all the same teams like aim for the same position, that means that position is good, right? So it actually does make sense in that way. But ooh, Naya again headshot by Predator was the AK. Going to try and convert down a frag. Unfortunately, Magic is a little bit too far. Scoop is going to try and assist it, but get back in the muscle car. Get the hell out of here. It's not worth breaching. You also got to cross the road if you want to get there. So they're going to let that leave. But they're not letting them rotate away too easily. Team Legend trying their best to get an extra knock, but they will not be able to find it.
Magic, they are lying in 18th place. They moved up after that last game, but they're still not in the safe zone. All the while, Team Legend still down in 21st. They are a team that need the points. So adding 2 kills to their name in the early parts and pushing Magic away, that's going to give them a nice little bit of confidence coming into these next couple of phases. Nice shots coming out from Skirp.
Surprised I actually saw that through the smoke. I mean, I guess he just tried to anticipate that he knew there was a res coming on through, so he was trying his best. Skirp got a little bit of damage, increases his stat to look extra epic at the end of the game. They'll leave out. Not a worthy position. They're going to try and move up, but WAVietnamese moving on a compound. Held so far by Cream, and LAKONOSTRA also trying to take it over, but Cream, they're a good team in terms of defending compounds. But Elevate, actually they were the main issue, but Zuku's going to run away.
So Elevate, Cream, WAVietnamese all in one area.
And LAKONOSTRA.
By the graveyard. Oh, and LAKONOSTRA as well. And we have seen phase 2 shift down south.
Okay, so I mean, that's all the northern high ground, which is not valuable. They're going to have to go downhill, but I think they're all so busy with each other, this is not going to go well. But it's 2 members of WAVietnamese in that car. Oh, the car was fuming. It was definitely a pretty close call. Coach is going to be under the fire of Kalimos, but they won't be able to trade out too much out of it. But unfortunately, those 2 members behind the rock, the car is fuming, is not a viable option to rotate with anymore. And I think that might be them dying out. The car actually explodes.
To be honest, that was really, and by the way, I meant phase 3, not phase 2, my apologies. That was really weak by WAVietnamese. They should have known that the team was there. They got shot off it initially when Sod got a little bit overexposed. And you can't do that when it's so clearly out in the open.
But now they're locked in place with no way to rotate out of that one, so they might die out. We'll have to see. Team Legend, though, they had to move away from their field compound, and now they're going to be facing versus the wrath of LAKONOSTRA. Elicio doing some work, but we'll have to see if that will be able to work out for them. And actually, talking about Elicio Imperium,
yes,
if I'm not mistaken, it is Elicio's birthday.
It is Elicio's birthday, and I think on that note, as they got the squad wipe on Team Legend, I feel like the man deserves a happy birthday from ourselves, Max. What do you think?
I think so. I'm not a great vocalist myself, but we can give it a try.
Hey, look.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you. This actually sounded way better in my head.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you, Elicio. Happy birthday to you. And now you better get the chicken dinner or I'm going to get so mad. There you go. That was we'll delete the VOD after this, don't worry. Nobody will see this ever again. But what I'm not seeing, I'm not really happy about that is WAVietnamese getting absolutely shredded by the squads over the side. That's gonna be mainly Cream and again a little bit of an involvement, and yeah, PECO just popping off with that mini 14.
To be honest, WAVietnamese put themselves in that situation and said there's no need for them to rotate. But Sandro from UDRKILLERS, what the hell are you doing, man?
Beep beep mother trucker, getting the hell out of here. OVN, they had an angle too, but Sandro, he's pushed him now. But yeah, there you go. He does explode into smithereens. Kalimos will confirm that frag. Up to 3 so far, just by holding the compound. That's a pretty fair trade-off for them.
Kind of curious what the scary noise that came out just as Sandro blew up. I thought I liked it, but it was also like kind of wow. Okay, didn't know you had it in you, Maxima.
Thank you. Now that's also why I screamed the first time I met you at TwitchCon. Like, I was like, okay, it's Imperium. Jesus. It's fine.
Oh my lord! And now I'll tell you what, this isn't going to be the first time these teams will have met. That's elevating Team Dope. Of course, the circle on phase 4 did shift up north away from La Bandita, so the teams down south are going to have to find their way in, of course, with a bit of the city inside this next phase. Buildings are going to be risky, but potentially a payoff.
Yep, worthwhile. But Mamula there, unfortunately, not going to be working too good. SOD, despite being a one-man army, he's trying to put off the best performance he can yet. Unfortunately, SOD, can he get the bandages off in time in the blue? He's tanking it on phase 4. And it will be moving away from him, so he has not too much time to play with, while Nano is going to be the last one of UDRKILLERS. Try and move up on the position of Cream. That muscle car is going to try and get in it. He does make it through and back into the mountain, so he can't get sprayed upon just yet.
Oh my god. UDRKILLERS, they're far from safe. They're down in 23rd. I feel like it might be the end of their run in the spring split EU PMCO. I don't want to call it just yet because it's not over till the fat lady sings, and Max, I haven't started singing yet.
Huh. Interesting. Victor gonna get sprayed upon. Kalamos unfortunately not able to hit it, but still at that speed, that was a great spray control from Kalamos. I mean, I think he proved himself as like a great spray control man in these tournaments in the group stage and the semi-finals. X-Ray, they actually got a nice play. They got the mountainside under control. Visibility is going to be really important for them. Sakura was the M24, trying to rain it upon MVP Gaming.
Plus, they've got a great spot as a 2-2 split as well, Max, which is really paying off because they have many different angles and many different perspectives. They've got high ground, they've got low ground, they've got fantastic angles. Good position by Accelerate.
I like how this is going so far. 2-2 split is absolutely wondrous for them, but Kalamos moving in with the rest of the Cream squad. They're going to go straight in the open arms of LAKONOSTRA. They got a building right in front of them. They can actually call up to stop in there instead of fully committing for the engage, but actually Accelerate helping out the members of Cream, going for that nice consistent spray, and Reki will get that knockdown on Ironori.
Helping Cream so far, but they won't hesitate to hinder Cream should they give them the chance to shoot those shots. But Cream do have a little bit of a dip, but they are not in the circle.
Not quite yet, indeed. OVN trying their best. Oh, the sprays are pretty consistent from Reki. And Novaz, he knows this is not the best way, especially with the buggy. Still better off just going by feet to be able to rotate and just dance between the bullets a little bit more. But Cream seem like they really want to commit on this push upon LAKONOSTRA. Peko is going to be the first one down. LAKONOSTRA got a really nice position to hold on to. That nade seems pretty damn good from Kalamos, but unfortunately will not result in any knockdowns coming up on the feed.
Oh, but now a counter grenade from LAKONOSTRA as Alicio is going to push upon by Kalamos. Goes by the side of the building.
Kalamos, that was a risky one, but worthwhile, as now you get 2 points of pressure with Reese. Reese is still pulling off the res, so he's not able to fight it just yet. But Kalamos, an absolute one-man army, taking it up on LAKONOSTRA all alone. But Alicio will be able to make it through. Happy birthday once again. The birthday buff is present.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. That is Alicio. Nice play on top of the box, but Pico Reese about to drive in.
He's going for the full-on engage. Alicio doing some work. That's his second knockdown upon Cream. And Cream get absolutely battered and taken out in 8th position. And there you go. The birthday buff is a thing. And apparently he wished for chicken dinner today.
I tell you what, that could be the team fight that has secured LAKONOSTRA a top 16 spot. Yes, it's early, but we're down to the top 7 teams. LAKONOSTRA is 17 so far, but Goskilla knocks them blind.
Yep, blind is going to be shut away. Team Dope, that 2-2 split, unfortunately, a little bit too far. No, many members next to blind. While Bazzi Doors is normally a split partner, is going to be on the other side of the road. So that res will not be great for him. But we have an Eastern Circle shift Imperium. And this is going to close up on the team. So far, Goskilla, they have a good position to gatekeep away on Team Dope. They just got to hold the high ground and just take them down one by one.
Yeah, but what I worry about is about Accelerate is that they've allowed MVP to get a little bit too close for comfort against them on the north side, and that might go against Accelerate. MVP going for another consistent performance around the 8 to 10 point mark to secure a spot in the top 16.
Let's freaking go, but LAKONOSTRA in the reticle of Team Dope. Are you going to take that shot? On M4, I would say, maybe not too worthwhile giving your position away. Knowing you're on the edge of the circle, you don't really dictate how this happens, and staying prone and out of action would be the best way for them to play it off. MVP, a good way to get not pressured by Accelerate is going right next to the wall, which they did, but you can get pressured now by the other side, but no teams are there, so they're actually pretty damn safe there.
And I want to point out really nice positional play by Goskilla, really driving on the middle of the circle in this phase 5.
Also seeing the YouTube chat, you guys apparently enjoyed our singing. I saw chat saying that we had an angelic voice in Pyram. I'm really happy about that. We might sing more for you guys if you ask it nicely. But Accelerate, yeah, they had the members split up, and now you got these two members going to be pushing upon LAKONOSTRA. That's going to be that's going to be X0 and Kapahala. They coming out, but they're getting sprayed from the other side. Team Dope, they did not care about giving their position away, and they get that one first knockdown on Elicio. The birthday boy is out of commission. The red dot Uzi for X0 is going to try and do some work. Tries his very best, but unfortunately not able to get Nori down.
I tell you what, I questioned what Accelerate were doing, allowing MVP to get closer, but Accelerate rotated down the hill. So that's nice positional play by them as well. However, with the circle shifting to the east, it's going against the three teams on the west.
Yeah, the circle is pretty good for them. That means the Accelerate, you know what? They're going to have to give their high ground position they've been holding for the past 10 to 15 minutes. Dope, they are the team that are going to struggle a little bit. They're going to have to go uphill. They might be pushed just over that dip, which is going to make it very scary. Well, YT just split away from his squad, trying to give some intel, and also giving another point of pressure upon Team Dope.
Yeah, it's actually not going to be bad for Dope. It's all about what YD can do to push Team Dope back and give that information to the rest of his team. But all the while, Goskilla, yeah, they've got a great position, but it's not over yet as LAKONOSTRA go down in 7th.
Yep, Team Dope, they went for the shots, and that's going to be LAKONOSTRA out of commission. Now they've got to push upon, but Goskilla, they don't want to allow this to happen. But from the backside, they don't have too much intel as of yet, but that is Terra moving on this potential high ground spot. And they know that they are not looking too good. So YT's got at least the intel, and he gave that over to his squad, and they're acting accordingly. Was having Elod just scouting out Terra to know they're not pushing.
I was just going to say, Terra, they've kept fairly quiet in this game on the north side. And now they have a positive position.
MVP, they're going for the push. They're going for it while that crate is dropping very slowly from the mountain. A little bit weird, but that's completely fine. Team Dope, they lose blind. Once again, he's going to be knocked and blind. A better love story than Twilight, apparently, in this game. Goskilla in their dip. Nades are going to be a big issue for them, and that is why MVP, they're just raining absolute hell upon them. It looks like a mini red zone at this point. But Terra, they were able to just reposition behind that dip and survive a little while longer. Janata's going to get res back up.
All the while, did you know out of the 5 remaining teams, 3 of them are in the bottom half of the standings max?
This isn't them in their last retrenchment. They know they have no more time to just pull off some cool looking plays. They have to play this one as serious as they can. And they make it through in top 5. Smoke's coming up to give a little bit more coverage to Broccoli. Playing with the Vector. Will the Vector luck come into play, or will it be the Vector Nightmare?
Vector buff is gonna help do the job. I can predict it. I can feel it in my bones.
I feel it in my fingers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And I can feel it in my toes. Goskilla under a little bit of pressure in the center of the circle. They made nice waves, but is it too much for them to handle against the teams rotating in all around them?
Oh, but I'm not even thinking about them handling teams. I'm saying, can they handle the circle shift of phase 7 is going to be going up in a matter of seconds. And 3, 2, 1, it shifts down south. Team Dope, this is a gift from the heavens. They just got to stay prone, let the fight happen in the north, and then they can just get the third party of the century to steal the chicken dinner away. Now to see which teams can survive it. And the team that's looking good is actually Goskilla, holding the circle away from all the 3 squads up north.
True, but Terra Esports, should I say, could shift, although it is downhill, they could shift to the east. Yeah. But it's still not going to be super safe. It's risky. And they've got to worry about the teams to the side, that being MVP.
Oh, getting a nice few shots, Broccoli. And there you go. Janata will be the one to confirm those knockdowns. But MVP, they know they have to hold a position. This is a fight they cannot let pass any further. They have to take it home. Well, Team Dope trying to get the third party, trying to get some engagement, maybe stealing a few frags along the way. But now Broccoli coming in with the Vector, trying to get the sprays on through, but they're just not quite able to connect. And Leon just fighting back so well. Broccoli will be the first casualty in this fight for Terra Esports, but Spectra able to fight back. MVP Gaming really struggling, but Danny will be still up and running, but I don't think he's going to make it out alive.
Oh, Danny boy! The deaths are calling. That's going to be the end of MVP. Terra make it up into the top 4. They've got 5 kills. That's going to be Team Dope doing what they can.
Doing what they can, but they spread as thinly as they possibly could, which I'm actually a pretty big fan of. Accelerate, the last member, X0, get taken out with Kapahala, and that means they take 4th position. Still, way better than what we've seen so far from them. Their aggressive playstyle was rewarding this time around on Miramar. And Team Dope, they're just raining it upon once again. They are controlling this game, sending 2 members to just try and take all the last frags. They don't want to let the fight happen. They want to control the area, and they absolutely adore this coming out from Team Dope.
Oh yeah, the triangular position by Team Dope in the end compounded the rest of the teams, and they go and take the chicken dinner with 12 kills.
What a game. Exactly how you expected him to play it off. Passive, as long as they needed it to do. They dropped early on in Val Del Mar. They knew they didn't have to take the fight versus WAVietnamese. They played it like so good, very by the book. But this is why we say playing by the book is good, because it flipping works. And Team Dope, that kill count, dude, that is 12 kills and a chicken dinner. This game alone might be the reason why they make it up into the finals of the European region.
Tell you what, it's oh man, some of these teams are leaving it so late to get through. I'll tell you what team isn't leaving it late. Goskilla. They were in the danger zone at the start of today's games. 13th place, still top 16, but it wasn't too safe. I was talking to Whitey, and Whitey said he was going to do what he can. He guaranteed they were going to qualify. I said, look, whatever happens, guys, I'm already proud of you. Just play your game, do what you can, and feel the moment. And that's exactly what they've done. Another good result. It was only 1 kill, but 2nd place, that's 14 points in the bag.
And I think the reason why they were able to survive for so long was actually Whitey on that split. He said, oh, Destroy Esport behind you, stay prone, don't push too far back away from Dope, or you might actually struggle. And I think Whitey there, his position was just so valuable to use as an IGL that allowed his team to survive up to 2nd position.
Accelerate, 4th place. Is that too little, too late? That's a question I know that is going to be answered at the end of the next game. I do feel it is. If they had have gotten 2nd place, maybe 3rd, and of course a chicken dinner, I would say otherwise. But I just don't think it's enough, because like I said, a lot of teams down in the bottom half, they're stumbling over each other to try and make it into the top 16.
I mean, even seeing like Goskilla, Dope, Terror, the teams that are in the same area as Accelerate, they put one hell of a performance. And because you said the point difference was so slim, like the point of advantage you get from 3rd, 2nd, and 1st position will have a huge impact and influence on Accelerate on the overall standings. So it's not maybe because it was not enough for Accelerate, but maybe because the other teams did better.
The only thing that favors the likes of Accelerate Terror, and I suppose even MVP, would be the fact that REXPECT only got 13th place. And they were already dropping down. They were on the 16th place mark after starting today's games in 12th. That's going to be a huge loss for them, and of course adds to the already extreme pressure for REXPECT going into the last game. I
mean, the pressure is definitely just ramping up, and on this last game, you know, it's absolutely going to be breaking out. Last game, game 4 of the day, and closing up also the entirety of the semi-finals will be on Vikendi. I really want to go see the standings now, but before we do go check out the standings, myself and Imperium will be going for a very, very short break. We'll be back shortly, and if you want to see if your favorite team has a chance of making it through to the finals of the European region, stay tuned. We'll be back shortly with that kind of information. And we are ready, ladies and gentlemen, to close up the semi-finals of this spring split for the European region. Great three first games, I gotta say. Really enjoyed it. Chicken dinner for OVN, for PedjaDBoy, for Team Dope. Been really enjoying it, an enjoyment to see these teams trying to fight back the ladder and try and climb as high as they potentially can. But a lot of the teams after this last game we're gonna have to say goodbye to, and that's gonna be, of course, on Vikendi.
It's close. It's really close. When you look at the bottom of the standings, I don't know if you put that up first, to be honest, but the way I look at it is I have it in two groups, okay? So from 23rd to 19th, that's We Are Vietnamese to Magic. They're in their own little box from 48 points to 56. I don't think any of those teams, bar maybe Magic, have what it takes to get 10 plus points to even get close to 18th place, 17th place, etc. So that's why I put the next group, which is REXPECT in 18th, up to all the way LAKONOSTRA in 13th place in the next box. So that's 64 points for REXPECT and 71 for LAKONOSTRA. That's, you know, so I think the biggest risk is obviously for GSMC PedjaDBoys.
PedjaDBoys, I mean, after that game we had on Sanhok, right? They had an insane performance. It would be really sad to see them go. I mean, they made it so close also in the group stage. They pull off like PedjaDBoys, and this is why PedjaDBoys are pulling off PedjaDBoys, because they're PedjaDBoy. But they're making it just so close, and it's so sad to see some of these teams, unfortunately, despite they're doing really good at the end, but it's sad to see them perform well when they have no other choice. I would love to see some of these squads be consistent from start to finish. Like PedjaDBoys, if they played like they are today, like, I'm sure 100% they would be in like the top 10 easily.
Oh yeah, they're the only team in the bottom half of the table who've gotten the chicken dinner. You know, so that's gonna speak for itself. Like, it's not, even though in theory Terror only need 2 points to overtake GSMC in 16th place, but behind them REXPECT are 1 point behind Terror. So man, like, at the end of the day, we've got to really keep an eye on the teams that go out in this game, because it's going to be like kind of just, you know, knocking them off the list of nope, not this team, nope, not this team, nope, not this team, before we get to the end and we go, wait, these teams are still in it.
You're going to have to nitpick. Like, you see in a kill feed, you see a team that you want to take down, you're going to have to like, okay, well, guess we're going to have to focus you down. The Imperium. Game 4, the last game of the semi-finals for this spring split is upon us. And after this one, we'll be known for sure which 16 teams will be moving over to the finals. Which teams have a slim opportunity of representing all of Europe in the regional finals.
Man, it feels like only yesterday that we were kicking off day 1 of the group stage, Max. And now we're in day 10 of games. And, you know, the 16 teams that are going to be confirmed. Then the real test will begin tomorrow when they have 2 days, 8 games in total to really make it count. And you know what? At the end of the day, you know, the teams that make it through, they'll deserve to have made it through. The teams that don't, be proud of where you've come. Be proud of what you've done. Don't stop fighting. Don't stop grinding.
Oh, they have to be extremely proud. Like, you're part of an elite. You are part of the top 24 teams of all of Europe. That is something. That is something. Like, me and Imperium, we're probably like top 1 million in Europe. That's to say, like, we've absolute naps.
Whoa. Excuse me, I'm top 999,999. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm so sorry, mister. I bowed down to you. You should be playing in PMCO. What the hell? But anyways, there we go. Our final plane of the semi-finals is here, and this plane path is going to be just going straight down north, down over to the south, and it's going to go follow that river path, which I know Team Dope should be pretty happy about, because they had some decent amount, like 50-50 decent amount of success on those kind of positions.
Of course, Podvalso is going to be easy access for Red Reserve. I was talking to Red Reserve yesterday. Actually, I was talking to Jip last night, who I had some games with. Real cool.
You mean you got carried?
She was saying that I got carried big time. She was saying that the reason why Ked ended up there is because there was just a bit of essentially a bit of a bug, and he thought he was heading towards Podvasto. Next thing you knew, it was like, oh wait, I'm nowhere near you guys. So that was what I expected. Hopefully, same thing will happen today. But wow, that phase 1 north. Sorry, southwest.
I was about to say, what? Do we have the same clean feed, Imperium? But yeah, it's going to be very focused southwest.
I'm looking at it upside down. My apologies. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Imperium bat just casting upside down, I guess, but that's fine. But we might have, or if we could have a Dino Park, like Dino Park, I see it like dead center. I would actually enjoy to have a Dino. I don't like it too, but it would make for some entertaining games.
It would indeed. It would make for some craziness. And I tell you what, though, here's the thing: with the playing trajectory being on the east and with the phase 1 circle being on the west, we are going to see some harsh rotations coming out from the teams on the kind of east side of the circle. You already see it being clumped up. I would really love to see some teams reacting very quickly by rotating early on in the game to get to, let's say, Milnar or even Movatra.
Yeah, the coastal line compounds are going to be very interesting for these teams. You're pretty sure that you'll be still in phase 2 when that happens, so we'll be seeing how that will be coming on through. But I was seeing OVN and PedjaDBoys pretty close. PedjaDBoys, in no way should you ever take this early game fight. There's no reason to do so, and you got everything to lose. OVN has just got everything to win. They're trying to aim for first position. You're aiming to get qualified, so just get away and you'll be fine.
Team Legend. Right now, 22nd. They're on 49 points. This is their last chance. Last grasp to get the points needed to qualify for the top 16. It's all in their control, Max, and they've got to get it done.
And have to cement factory. No, you got a decent amount of loot. Hopefully no teams will get around them to be somewhat of a nuisance. But they seem pretty well looted up for the early stage. Well, we're going to see. We are Vietnamese on MVP Gaming. Gaming clashing. Two teams that, you know, are somewhat in a pretty bad spot. They're actually in the danger zone, so whoever gets eliminated here potentially will be out of the semi-finals. So this is actually a really big stake in this early phase. Lower one should get confirmed by WAVietnamese. He actually didn't see it. Oh, he does. There you go. Confirm it was the Uzi. And there you go. Up to 2 kills.
Slight correction, though. MVP have done a great job to be in 11th place on 81 points. Yeah, no, I mixed up. I get why you might. Yeah, no, it's cool. They've, in my opinion, they've done enough.
Yeah, if they're in 11th, yeah, 100%. They're way more than safe. I mixed that up with another team I had on my paper. That's fine, but that means that we have Vietnamese. This is actually good that they got those frags.
Yes.
Because they're definitely going to need it to push on forward. PedjaDBoys, they're playing that one very split on the, I guess, southern east coastal line. So hopefully they'll be able to find a car to rotate, because without a car, rotation from so far away might get a little bit tricky. Hopefully they'll be able to find a way to make their way over there.
Honestly, if I were them, it's a bit unorthodox, and we've yet to see it so far. Get on the boat or even swim across. It's unorthodox. It's going to be slow, but I tell you what, it's a hell of a lot safer in my eyes than getting in a vehicle and trying to make your way across with all the teams that are on the east side of the circle, or southeast at least.
Unfortunately for them, I'm pretty sure they're not boats that spawn there. Well, actually, very rare occasion that might happen.
True.
So if they find one, happy days, but I'm pretty sure that will be a really slim chance while we pan on over. Oh, I love this compound, and Team Dope, Cream, facing up against each other potentially very soon. But Cream doesn't seem like they got scouted out by Team Dope, so they can use that surprise factor. But Dope, they need a good one right now.
On a side note, I did like the swift positional rotation by Elevate. They're going for a bit of a 2-2 split towards the center of the circle. I don't mind that because of the amount of teams that would have been outside the circle. However, they might get rushed upon a little bit too heavily as teams kind of claw to get into the circle.
Have to see as you potentially get an overview of the map very soon. But Echo, do they have the info? I mean, they all going at the same time in the building. I guess they got somewhat of some intel. They see potentially Tudor. How will that be going for him? Have to see. Don't have the information. Going for the spray, and there you go. Pekka getting one, getting a double. And Cream doing some good job. And now he's had actually enough time to reload. And he's almost able to get that third knockdown. But Team Dope, if they lost that, that would have been looking really bad and grim for them. But look at that re-engage from Marley coming in hot. Getting a knockdown, able to revenge him up. And Team Dope down to only Bazzi. Do you want to take that risk?
Nah, both teams are qualified. To be honest, Dope has done enough.
The only way like Team Dope could get taken out is if like all the teams up below them do like outstanding performances, but there's a limit of terms of points you can get. So they do seem safe. They seem very safe, to be exact.
I think Dope are like 8th in the standings. Yeah, no, Dope are 5th. What are we talking about? Dope are 5th. Dope are well in it. They don't care. 5th? Doesn't matter. But I tell you what, who is gonna care? The likes of Magic, as they are fighting to get into the top 16, so they're going to disengage away from Elevate.
Yeah, going to try and make it pay off. Sade taking a few general shots in their direction. It will not result in too much being done, but oh, nice break coming out from Zuku. Well, she's not going to be doing a hell of a lot of work on them, but Terra, oh, they're getting mixed up with UDRKILLERS. And UDRKILLERS, they are indeed in the danger zone, and so are Terra. So that fight, if they can both avoid it, that'll be great, but they're so mixed up into each other. I don't think that's going to go well for one of the squads, while Beer gets naded up.
Both teams are outside the top 16. That's going to help the likes of GSMC, PedjaDBoys, and even AK-47. As Elevate are going to take advantage and steal the kill away from PedjaDBoy.
Yep, there you go, that one. Nicely done for Class, playing with that Bison. The Bison, the great thing about it is that he's got an insane ammo capacity. And, you know, knowing how the skilled 4 years, I'm sure he'll use it.
It's honestly the worst sounding gun in the
whole game. Yeah, I was about to say that. He's right.
It just sounds so dirty. It just doesn't sound nice. But hey, look, you know what? In the right hands, it can certainly do a hell of a lot of damage, and it can sound nice for the person that gets the kills with it. I like this from Elevate, pushing teams back, good positional play, clean
indeed. Move on forward once again over to these teams. Magic still trying to hold their compound up. I mean, there's no reason for them to move as of yet. They got a few cars, they protected them pretty well, so they can rotate easily. Phase 2, want to see a little bit if they can find some potential peaks on Accelerate, a team that is very deep in the danger zone. Imperium, they showed their potential. They made some really good first performances, especially like on this last game on Miramar. They got themselves 4th position, step in the right direction, but I still doubt that's going to be enough. I did not know you could make it in here. Wow, this is nice. I never went here.
Oh wow. By the way, Red Reserve went for outside of Podvosto, then they went for a bit of a southeast rotation. Normally, I would kind of go, that's risky, but because of the fact that we're midway through the blue zone closing in on phase 1, a lot of teams have already looked to shift towards the circle. It has created more space for Red Reserve.
And Cream, they're slightly going to get next to the compound, but they know they can't take it just yet because it's got some walls, really easy to defend. So that's just going to be going the opposite direction. And back to the compound we came from, we go.
Yeah. Hey, look, again, that's all you can do. That was a great reaction. I believe it was Magic that got a great reaction. Push Cream away and just create that distance.
Yep, and back over to Dino Park. Terra, they got themselves in there. They got actually away from the fight they were involved with UDRKILLERS. And not sure how that actually went.
Well, they lost one player. Remember, Bear at the hands of Elevate. No, it wasn't Bear.
He was naded up. He was not.
It was Icy. It was Icy.
Yeah.
That actually went down, I believe.
Yeah, but Bear did get knocked away by a nade. Still, he didn't make it through. Well, Vietnamese still looking to push upon. They want to play this one aggressive, apparently. I mean, they're also trying to aim for some kill points. So it's different 2 ways to play it. Very early spray coming out from Beer, and now he's going to have to switch over weapons. And that was a great waiting performance from Waisoazi. And he's going to take that kill instantly. 3rd kill so far for them. But I'm surprised the Beer sprayed so early. Should have tried to wait a little bit more.
Man, Terror. They're putting themselves in the danger zone. They've yet to get a kill. They're down to 2 players. 15th place minimum, but that's still only going to give them 1 placement point. And they've given kills over to We Are Vietnamese, who are down below.
I want to see some more broccoli action. I want to see some insane plays from him. I would be sad to see them go, but the coastal line, you were talking about it, and it seemed like most teams played for like the central circle coastal line, which is going to be a great position to play with, but not if there's too many teams. So maybe you want to try and, understand your position, which is what Red Reserve are trying to do, and they're going to aim for like a edge of circle / coastal line, just a lot more out of the way, and like that, they're not going to encounter any teams.
Yeah, it's a nice kind of, I wouldn't say a hard rotation, but it was like it wasn't a direct rotation. It was just nice and intelligent, especially because after phase 2 was exposed, they've continued moving. So that means that they are kind of one of the first teams to be down that south coastal line on the east area of the map, and it's given them a nice spot for the next 5 to 7 minutes, in my opinion.
Cream and OVN, two teams that are fighting for this first position. Pretty close. They did get overtaken by Cream recently, so OVN might want to try and get a comeback on that one. Pedja walking in the open. Wolves and Herbs hopefully don't get scattered out by Goskilla, but I mean, Goskilla, happy days for them if they do. Get a few more frags. Could get them just nice and comfy, but they'll be fine.
Yeah, could go from walking in the open to walking in the air if they're not too careful. Do you get that reference, Max?
Sorry, I was sneezing there. I had to mute myself. I'm not gonna lie, I did not hear that.
I'm clean. I'm clean.
I'm fine, guys. I'm fine.
I'm clean. But anyway, sorry, I didn't realize, to be honest, that was just genuinely like, yeah. Anyway, Red Reserve looking over OVN. They rotate a little bit more north. Sitting pretty.
Sitting pretty. They got a nice area to defend. I mean, compounds are so valuable. We mentioned it so many times. If you don't play compound on Vikendi, you're doomed to fail in some sense, in a pretty big way. So, which is why not many fights are happening, because you've got so many compounds on that kind of like second circle shift. You don't really have to. And even though they're so close to each other, because there's such a big space between every single compound, it's Battle of Nox, but it won't, or very rarely will, result in a team squad wipeout at this stage.
Yeah, what I do worry about Red Reserve is that they're a little bit downhill, so I wonder how much information they are actually getting on teams around them. On side note, that's not exposing them, but if the circle shifts up north, I question how cleanly they're going to be able to rotate into the circle simply based on information alone. So let's see how it pays off.
Circle is closing up. Dino Park is still looking pretty central. I'm hoping to see it go over there, hopefully. Red Reserve, they got a lot more involved. They did center, go for a shift just a little bit closer to some teams. They want to try and get involved with it. The problem was their rotation, right? So now if it does shift away from them pretty harshly, mainly up north, that's going to mess them up, because they're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams with Team Legend around there. It could be a direct issue, and they'll have to confront them face on to try and get themselves a good position. So it's high risk, high reward. They're hoping to have a good circle shift in their favor.
It is. Cream, they're pretty, they're safe, they don't need to worry. It doesn't really matter to them. They're just going to play their usual game and have fun along the way.
You know what, they are actually very pretty.
Well, look at when you've got an Irish god like Reese on your side, you know, how can you not be pretty?
Okay, I was going to say Mali, but you know what, that's fine. You're making our little European beauty contest in the EU PMCO. That's fine. We have different tournaments every once in a while.
Also when Reese has a clean Irish accent. It's not rough. It's a nice, clean so it's not like Irish yours. Accent as well. No, it's not like mine at all, to be honest. And it was like, you know, the way when you talk to somebody like kind of in, you know, from your own country or from your own area, you instantly kind of maybe talk in the same way as them, where you talk more like your own culture. It was like that with Reeves. Like, I'm so used to talking, you know, I know a caster type of English, or just a you know, a more neutral type of
trying
English,
to be audible, yeah.
Yeah, but when you come across somebody like an Irish person, you instantly talking Irish English. But anyway, Red Reserve, LAKONOSTRA.
Yeah, they tried to send out a scout, but they got the intel. They move on out, leaving Muriel unfortunately behind. Trying to chuck a nice Kobe Molly. Oh, man. Ooh, that looks pretty. Ooh, hey, you know what? That's actually really close. I'll give Muriel just a little bit of a benefit of the doubt to try and get those to connect. They're getting sprayed from the back. Muriel just going to get into that bite. That Molly actually giving him enough time to make it out. And he makes it to the compound. What the hell, Muriel? Those mollies saved him.
Never mind Muriel, because they're worth it. L'Oreal, because they're worth it.
Well, okay, you know what? I'll give that one like I'll give that one a 6. Like, nice attempt.
It was meant to be the other way around. I fluffed it up. I'm sorry, Max. I'll try better.
Even the other way it worked, I think. I think that worked out too.
It was yeah, it's not the same though. That's why it was only 6 out of 10.
Yeah, could have been a 9, but yeah, you blew it. Sad, but it's fine.
You know, okay, no, I'm not going to respond to that. But as we do see, phase 3 is going to start closing in the next couple of seconds. Of course, when you already have the likes of Goskilla and MVP outside the circle, it's going to make it a little bit tougher. Goskilla definitely closer than MVP. Both teams, in my opinion, are safe with MVP in 11th place and Goskilla in 9th place.
It's definitely getting pretty close to each another. Seeing up, phase 3 did shift. I didn't actually have a clear view of where the circle went. Imperium, you got the minimap, I believe. Where did it go? Did you see it?
Well, phase 3 is still closing in, so we'll see.
It went away from the coastline. It did, like, the phase 3 actually did go central on Dino Park, so the coastline is not going to be in play. Red Reserve actually playing it very smart. They didn't go straight for the center. They actually knew that a few teams were in their vicinity, and it just went through the coastline, trying to wrap around on the west, which I think is like the smartest way to do it for them because their new teams are located there. So Red Reserve, despite an unlucky rotation and set of circumstances, they made the most out of it and now got a nice entry point on phase 3.
Again, it was like kind of like what I said. They didn't really have the information. They went for a rotation on phase 3. It didn't work out. They got away. They disengaged, and that's given a little bit of information, but it's still quite limited coming into phase 4.
Yep. Checking out. A few teams going to be coming out. Cream. They made it close to Dino Park, but Dino Park, we might actually have the finish. I remember Imperium, our very first game we casted at PMCO, like for the wildcard series when we were actually in Kiev in Ukraine, was actually a Dino Park finish. That
really?
Was, yeah,
how do you remember that, man?
I don't know. Our very first game was a Vikendi game, and it was a Dino Park finish. I remember that. I'll ever remember that.
Aw, that's actually kind of sweet, dude.
As a bad memory.
Oh, wow. And the toxicity shows up. You know what? I'll give you that one. That was clean. Touche.
There you go. It was a Dino Park finish, so would be cool. Nice memories coming back. Well, Cream, you know, they got a nice compound. These type of compounds on Vikendi are so nice because of the wall. I keep on mentioning it because it's really good with third person. You don't put yourself in a dangerous situation. You get intel while also being able to fight back in just a click of a button. So those compounds are definitely really valuable. You can hold on to it. While LAKONOSTRA, not quite in circle yet. They're very close by, but Red Reserve are also going to be in their global vicinity.
Yeah, they're waiting a little bit late to rotate in as UDRKILLERS and REXPECT, 2 teams trying to fight to get into the top 16. Rex in 18th on 64 points. UDRKILLERS in 21st on 51.
Pretty safe to assume that means that whatever team loses this team fight, they are out of the equation and they will get, unfortunately, no tickets to move on to the finals. So both of the teams going to be very cautious. This is why the fight is going so slowly. But I'm seeing one member flanking around who's actually going to be Ulysses of UDRKILLERS, which I absolutely enjoy. They show an intention of retreating.
Yeah. The flank by UDRKILLERS is much... is really gonna hurt REXPECT, and you saw the grenade by Sandro to knock down Caster. This is gonna be the push. Another knockdown onto Wasted.
They're going for it, gets engaged. Nice angle hold on so far by Ulysses, and down to only 1. They're gonna try their best to take out REXPECT, and there it is. He's there. He's trying to make the most out of it. He's put solo 1 more bullet, and he dies, and so does the hopes of having REXPECT go to the finals of PMCO EU. See you later. I'm sure they'll come back in full split.
Oh, I'm a little bit sad about that, but UDRKILLERS, what an engagement, what a fight. But now Magic going up against Elevate.
Pocus?
Compound. down. Skirp is inside the building. He's on his own though. Pocus, he's going up against 1v2.
Oh man, he does not care. He's just going for it. The Magic, they're in the danger zone. This is their fight to lose, Imperium. And they got to try their best. Playing the passive. Skirp going to come from the back and does get the instant knockdown on Pocus. Turn down to a kill that they desperately need. And Magic doing good. Definitely a little bit too aggressive. And Zuku, they eliminate Elevate.
Oh, Magic! Skirp comes in with the rest of his team. They're still a full squad. I do believe Elevate will be safe anyway. And now we're down to 13 teams, 45 players. The circle is shifted to the east. We could have a Dino Park finish as OVN get into vehicles and move.
Yeah, they get some nice high ground, and that means they can scout it out, and they definitely want to try and end up being in first position at the end of this game. They get the intel. Team Legend, they are struggling. Team Legend, they are in the danger zone. Imperium, they are so far down. And this is, once again, their fight to lose. They cannot afford a bad performance. But we are Vietnamese, then the same scenario versus LAKONOSTRA. LAKONOSTRA, they are looking nice in their positioning, so they're just going to try and aim for better points, better kills. But we have Vietnamese, they've definitely got a nice position to hold on to as they try and push back LAKONOSTRA.
If LAKONOSTRA go out, it's definitely not going to be too safe for them. They're in the danger zone. 71 points in 13th place. They're only 6 points ahead of the likes of Terror.
Definitely not comfortable if you want to make this one safe. Get We Are Vietnamese, that would kind of secure your spot in the finals. It is. We have enemies. They're closing up onto Red X and Elicio. Elicio doing his best, and it will be Red X to engage this one and break it through. But Elicio will fall on through just after. And now Red X put extremely low. He's going to get shut down. But UDRKILLERS with a third party of the century. Was that all held so far by Nano? And he's going to get a few nice engagements, putting We Are Vietnamese on a little bit of the back foot, having to put off one res because they know how that one member might be super important later on down the line.
However, Goskilla are coming in for a potential fourth
Team Legend
party. Or Nari spots out LAKONOSTRA. They're down to just a Nari. I don't think he's going to be able to get the revives. Smoke is being thrown out to take away the vision.
Oh, Mark taking the kill on Elicio. He's still there. They're up to 5. And UDRKILLERS, they are a team that, they are in the danger zone. So these 5 kills will be extremely valuable for them. Minori trying to peek it out. Doesn't have the intel as on the smoke, though. That was definitely a risky one, but put off the rest. That is your main priority right now.
And all LAKONOSTRA can do is just hope UDRKILLERS takes out We Are Vietnamese. The circle shifts away from Dino Park, goes a bit to the east, but it does centralize up a bit and stays up towards the north as Accelerate knocks away a member of Team Legend. 2 teams fighting for the top 16.
We have enemies being very responsive. They got the cars. They know, okay, this circle is actually pretty decent for us. No teams can gatekeep us from that position, so we're going to go for it. Nice angle. We said it, Imperium. Don't peek. What are you doing? And he's going to try and close that one up with the molly. Put Hunter in a pretty precarious situation. Does get a pretty decent one with the molly. Will end the days of LAKONOSTRA. Still not sure if they'll get eliminated because of it, but it's not looking sexy for them.
It's not looking too good for them indeed. I don't know who went out in 12th place, unfortunately, Max. So that is information that I'm not really sure about, but Goskilla, they have information as We Are Vietnamese are fighting on up, trying to get all the points that they can to make their way into the finals.
Goskilla, I know you guys can do it. Just want to see how much you can. You're looking good in the standings. They should have their spot to the finals. YT Slow going to be bleeding out. ELOD should be the next to follow suit. They have been pretty split, and you don't want to cross the road again, so Goskilla will be losing 2 members in that engagement with We Are Vietnamese. They got already 5 kills, looking to go 6. This might be extremely well for them.
It might, but it all could turn at the drop of a hat, Max, man. UDRKILLERS, they're going for a bit of a push boost. 1 member inside the circle. It could be risky as OVN go down. I don't know exactly what happened. I believe it was the MVP that was the MVP taken down OVN.
I mean, OVN got taken out also by Cream. That was down. There was a lot of teams that had an angle on that, but unfortunately, the fight of UDRKILLERS is coming to a halt with We Are Vietnamese. Whoever makes it out here might be having a great opportunity of going further, but 8 kills for UDRKILLERS. They are tryharding like this, the end of the flipping world, and they want to try their best.
Already that puts him up into the 20th spot in the standings, not including placement points.
Definitely a step in the right direction, but it's still not quite enough. You're going to need a lot more kills and positioning points to make it up. While Reeves of Cream going to go out. He wants to go and try and get rid of PedjaDBoy. Trying to go up to the rooftop, but they're rotating on at the same time. So Ulysses is going to have to jump straight back down. And SOD going for the flank with the Uzi, but he gets shut down in his path to success. And we have enemies. Kush, why so easy remaining? Can he make it work out? Kush is going to get overwhelmed by sheer power, and it will be ending up into a 1v2. Why so easy? Can you save your team from absolute defeat? Great, he gets an extra knockdown, but he's put so low. He's only got 1 HP, Imperium.
No way!
Oh.
Sandro, go in for the kill!
Go for the pan kill!
Is he gonna go for the pan, or is he gonna look to try and get the revive? Okay, Ulysses comes in. Why so easy? He's gonna pick off a medkit. Is he gonna get the revive off? 1 grenade, 1 shot. Don't miss your chance, UDR, to make it into the finals.
If MVP come back from that, we'll be able to say they made it to the finals with only 1 HP. That was the difference between them getting qualified and them getting eliminated.
Hell yeah.
Oh, damn it. But they make it back up. SOD back into action, almost about to bleed out. But all those meds, they're showing it up. They know they have no more time. 1 minute before this slips away. But UDRKILLERS, they know they can't hold on to this. They have to aim for better positioning in the circle, which they had to go to.
True, which I can't agree why they disengage, but Reki gets knocked down from Accelerate by Agon of Red Reserve.
Yeah, UDR finally they shifted away. Hopefully they don't get backstabbed by WAVietnamese.
Yeah.
This is one thing they're definitely hoping, but at least they got the information their team is located there. They're back with 3 members. It will be potentially a 3v3. And a circle shift back in their favor, actually, towards their global vicinity. And might make it actually really good for UDRKILLERS.
And you know who's still in this game? One team we haven't mentioned. Haven't had a good game. Haven't had a good day so far, other than that Sanhok, is Red Reserve. Yesterday they had a good Vikendi game. Can they follow suit in the last day of the semi-finals?
I really thought you were going to say Terra there. I mean, Red Reserve is also kind of in like the situation of not having insane games today, so I do hope this can be the one for them. But what I would recommend now for WAVietnamese, they know exactly where UDRKILLERS rotated to, but the blue zone is upon them. They have no more time to think. They only have to act. And we'll have to see them out of a few seconds if it will have the influence they are hoping for. But UDRKILLERS, they have been prepared. They knew exactly they were going to come back for vengeance. But now, vengeance is going to be coming on through. Yuli says you can't miss those shots, my friend. And Sandro will be there to avenge it. But oh my god, what did it was this fight? And everyone being down to 1 or 2 HP. Yuli says he's going to get normally res back up.
What goes around comes around, and now Accelerates their core next knockdown. Reki's the last man standing. Cream, they're on 10 kills already.
Damn, they are serious about getting #1 position. UDRKILLERS, they get another one. That's going to be Nano securing it. Oh, don't go. You're so low, SOD. That's a waste of time. And he knew he had to cross because of the blue zone and go for the final spray. WAVietnamese, they die out and they get eliminated in 5th position. Pretty sure that's not going to be enough to get qualified for the finals.
No, it's not. But I tell you what might be enough. UDRKILLERS,
oh, no.
11 kills. They're in the top 5. But Red Reserve, they might try and end the dreams. But I do believe, Max, UDRKILLERS, they've done enough to qualify into the finals. I'm
pretty sure also the thing is about UDRKILLERS' position currently, they are extremely predictable as of where they're going to go out. There are just a few doors to make it out of that volcano. And Red Reserve, they know it. They want to shut that down. They want those kills up to 7. So many kill counts this game. UDRKILLERS, Cream, and Red Reserve, they're taking all the frags of the goddamn lobby.
Oh my god, I cannot believe what UDRKILLERS have done. It's unbelievable. What a showing. What an end. What a Vikendi game. Albie knocks down Ked, but Hagen pops back up to get the kill. Now we're down to 2 teams, UDR and Red Reserve.
It's all coming down to this. Imperium, Ked, Derez, hopefully will be coming on through, but this 2-2 split is working absolute wonders. They're trying to spread their wings to get more intel on UDRKILLERS. Know which door they might come out from. The circle is still looking somewhat half decent for them, but they're going to take a little bit of tick damage from the blue zone, and Red Reserve, they know it, and they want to abuse it. A few nades will be perfect for them.
Come on, Sandro. Come on, and Nano. Wait. Hold off. Will Red Reserve come in 1 by 1? They're waiting. They're just waiting. A smoke grenade is going to be thrown out. Take away that vision. And now his grenade is going to pop off. It's going to be able to push back UDRKILLERS as they go each side of the doorway.
They're trying to blind their escape route so they don't have any information on where to shoot at. Molly comes out. That will normally get an initial knockdown, I'm pretty sure. But no, Sandro does not get knocked away by that. And Red Reserve, they just want to try and funnel all the damage onto Sandro and Nano. They have to move up. It's going to be phase 8. That means it's going to be the last phase. Sandro does bleed out because of the Molly of Ked. It's on the hands of Nano. Can he make it worthwhile? They know, and there you go. Ked will get that knockdown, and then the Blue Zone will end up that game. Red Reserve, they get their very well-deserved chicken dinner to close up the semi-finals, but UDRKILLERS, they did way more than enough, I think.
UDRKILLERS, spam the UK in the chat. I know they've constantly had the support going all the way through the group stage. That power, that energy, it transferred to this last game of the day, and they popped the hell off, Max Man.
Goskilla, though, I have to say, they get 3rd position. Only 2 kills, that's for sure. But they definitely did get a few extra points from that one. But UDRKILLERS, I mean, pulling off a PedjaDBoy, we're going to call it now, not pulling off a PedjaDBoy, but pulling off a UDRKILLERS. That was like a complete 180 from what we saw throughout the entirety of the semi-finals. Wow. And now, if you do this all the time, you're top 1, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Man, UDRKILLERS, I just really can't believe it. Normally, I'd be all about the Red Reserve chicken dinner. I would, trust me, I'd be all about the chicken dinner. But I'm sorry, guys. UDRKILLERS, they stole the limelight. They stole the show. They stole the day on the last game of the semi-finals.
And they focus down WAVietnamese. They're just securing their points even more. WAVietnamese are a team that were in contestment with UDRKILLERS. They saw that in the kill feed. Oh, this is a team we definitely want to try and get rid of. They didn't get too overzealous in that engagement, but they just waited. They stayed prone in that volcano area, waited for WAVietnamese to push back, and then they shut them down, securing himself 4 kills along the way. Great from them. I think that they're the team we're focusing on the most, and I gotta say, I'm extremely surprised. Red Reserve, the amount of kills too, but Cream, last time I saw them, they were up on 10 kills. Also a surprising performance.
It was kind of like, not out of nowhere, but it wasn't really focused on in the kill feed. And I you know what, I'm okay with that, because they'll get their own limelight in the finals, right? They'll get their own spot to shine when it comes to the games. Hell, they've already shone so much in these games. It was always going to be about these teams fighting for the top 16 spot. It was always going to be about these teams just pushing, hoping, dreaming, praying, and spraying to make it through.
I also saw Accelerate. They got themselves in 4th position. I didn't think they actually got so high up in the standings. They also got themselves 3, 4, 5, 6 kills.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. Like, really, at this point, we can't really guess. We can speculate in a way, but we don't really know for sure. So what we're going to have to do is just wait for the updates to be updated. Well, the results to be updated. And I'm pretty sure they have been. So Imperium, I say, let me update it, and let's see which teams I'll have to say goodbye to.
Can we go from 1st to 12th, please? Just...
Okay. Let me get it updated.
Because remember the group stage, Max? GSMC just about qualified, being on the same points, but got more kill points. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Imperium, I have the standings currently updated. So let's go from the top 12 to the bottom 12. Top 12, who is going to be our team in the top position? Creep Esports will be stealing the chicken away from OVN, and they will be our top 1 of the semi-finals. Congratulations to them. Yeah. Hey Gaming still in pretty hefty 2nd position, and OVN taking it 3rd, but they can still be extremely proud of the entirety of their performance.
And here's the thing, top 4, you've got to think about that coming into the finals. Those are the 4 teams that, if the finals were to end like that, they'd be going on to the regional finals. Think about that. Those teams are going to be thinking about that. They've got to be in that mindset of, hey, we ended in this spot in the semifinals. We have got to end in this position at the end of finals.
Imperium, we have to move to the lower segment. From 13th position to 24th. And I'm seeing some really interesting statistics. So let's go. 3, 2, 1 will be known which teams will be qualified. And there you have it. All teams below 16th position will have to say goodbye to, unfortunately. And also because we have equal standings between AK-47 and Terra Esports. And more kills over to AK-47. Terra, they're out.
That's what I talked about, Max. I said that points to kills matter. The kills count. And I was talking to one of the guys from AK-47 earlier on. I was talking to Rana, and they were like, oh man, you know, what's your opinion? You know, and I say, guys, you're fine. Any team below GSMC, they're the teams at risk. You're fine. You're safe. I wasn't expecting to be as close as that for AK-47, but hey, they made it through. They did what they needed to do.
UDRKILLERS, they pushed up just so good. And that's how close it was, Imperium. Look at that. 71 points was your decisive factor, the amount of points you needed to get qualified. Yeah. And they got 76. 5 kills. They would have lost 5 kills in that game. They were out. That is how important these kills were for UDRKILLERS. And they put off the game of a lifetime.
Oh yeah, like an equal placement points to kill points. That's not a bad average to hold on to. Of course, they would like more, but in total, but still the same placement points to kill points. PedjaDBoy in 14th place. Man, they did pull off a PedjaDBoy at the end of the day. They did do what they needed to do, and LAKONOSTRA, man, I am genuinely happy for those guys getting in 15th place overall. I was talking to also LAKONOSTRA earlier on, and again, you know, they're like, look, we want to make you proud. I say, guys, you've already made me proud. You've already done yourself justice. And they've done it again. They've made it even further.
So their heart must be beating so fast right now. Man. Literally 1 point away, and it would have gone tricky. I mean, they had more kills than AK-47 and Terra, but that was still a really close encounter. But then, to do a quick recap of the teams that will be leaving this spring split for the European region, will be Terra Esports, Accelerate Esports, GSMC, REXPECT, Magic, WAVietnamese, Team Legend, and Top Killers. Those teams will not be here anymore as we move to the finals of this weekend, with 16 teams fighting for the glory of going to the regional finals.
Of course, absolutely well done to all 16 teams that qualified. To the 8 teams that didn't make it, just like I said to the teams in the group stage, you should all be incredibly proud of yourselves. You should all be honored and have, you know, love yourselves for the job that you've done. I know they're all competitive gamers. They all know that they could have done better. And yeah, there's a certain amount of truth, but I will always say you can only do as good of a job as you can in that moment. Hindsight is 20/20, but you can stand strong and hold your head high that you guys, all your teams finished in the top 24 teams in the European region. That is a hell of a feat. Come on, get stronger, grow, and come back in the fall split.
Come back in the full split indeed, and just absolutely shred the competition. Every single team has had their moment. Every single team showed their true and deep potential. Some teams unfortunately weren't able to pull it off just yet, but still, if they keep on working, I'm sure they can make an absolute insane amount of good performances in the full split. So best of luck to you guys. I'm sure we'll see you very soon. You guys are awesome. And now we'll have to focus on our 16 teams moving to the finals. Imperium, so many awesome teams. Cream, Red Reserve, Elevate, so many big squads like OVNEsport, like just so many, and they're going to be now fighting for the glory of moving over to the regional finals and pulling off a PedjaDBoys, and unfortunately not going to be quite enough.
No, not at all. And you know, like the team that I'm going to put my name on, and not just because they have an Irish player, but also just from talking to them, the real deal. The reason why is because 7th place without a chicken dinner. Just watch out for them in the finals. That's all I'll say.
Bujo is a great shot caller for his squad. Like, he's doing such a great amount of performances. And I think they're definitely a team I want to keep an eye out for. I know what, I'm going to agree with that. I'm going to be keeping an eye out for them. OVNEsport also. Man, they've been getting better from stage to stage. Group stage, and they were there. They were present, doing good still. Semi-finals, this is a completely different team. What we're going to see coming into the finals, they're going to be the best team in the world, taking over Chinese teams potentially. I don't know. Like,
let's kind of, when every single team had played 8 games in the group stage, OVN were 12th. Just think about that. They were 12th after 8 games of group stage, and now they're ending the semi-finals in 3rd spot. That evolution, man, you can't deny it.
One of the best, if not the best evolution we've seen in this PMCO for the European region. But there you have it. We got the information. If you guys did not see it, I'm sure you guys can get updated. Follow the Instagram of PUBG Mobile Esports or on the Twitter. You have all the details you guys want to see over there. What kind of detail I'm going to give you now is what's going to be happening this weekend. This weekend, of course, is going to be the finals of the European region, and we'll be taking over a quick look of the schedule. Will be very redundant to what happened for these semi-final games. We're going to be having, of course, the same format for day 1 and day 2 on Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be Erangel, Sanhok, Miramar, then Vikendi to close up the day as always. And all of that, of course, starting off at some epic 8 PM action.
That's it. There you go. Back to square one. Back to the drawing board. All started fresh at 0. And then after 2 days, 8 games, we will find out who will be the teams going on to the regional. And of course, who will take that coveted #1 spot.
No. Oh, your voice cut there. I don't know what he said.
Oh, sorry. Just that coveted #1 spot for the World League.
Definitely you want to try and get that easy spot to the World League. Once again, a cash prize of $5 million US. Getting that #1 spot is going to be pretty damn valuable. So you better train hard for it. Do some VOD review, but don't forget to rest tonight because you're going to need it. This weekend is going to be absolutely action-packed. 8 PM CET, 7 PM GMT. Tomorrow, myself and Imperium will be here, as always, to bring you through the PUBG Mobile European action that you all know and love. See you tomorrow for the finals of EU PMCO. Bye-bye.